Hello, everybody, and welcome to summer break at Strixhaven University here on Dork Tales, a Patreon exclusive. Welcome, everybody. As you may see, we have some new and interesting people on the screen for our summer one-shot. So let's go around and welcome everybody. You guys probably know me. I am Christa, ChihistaFX in the chat, and I use she, they, or her, them pronouns, and I am often in this seat on Monday nights nowadays here on Dork Tales. But let's meet some of our other friends who are not always on Dork Tales. So going around our screen, welcome Char.
I'm first. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be back. I'm Charlene Bear. I go by Char. My pronouns are she, they. I'm from Tabletop Titties. And today I am coming back as Biscuit Pitterpatter, who uses he, him pronouns, a divination wizard ready to cause chaos!
And we are so excited for it. And joining in on that chaos, coming back after their his beautiful debut on Extra Life, welcome Night Tide. Hi, Night Tide.
Hello, hi, I am AJ, or I go by Night Tide. I'm going to be playing Phalor Dalavash, a Kalashtar warlock who's an investigator, and he's wonderful and fancy-free. I have my own channel at Night Tide, but I'm also, by the time that this goes live for the world, we'll have rebranded all the wonderful TTRPG things to Firelight Adventures. So that's going to be the new thing. It's very exciting.
I like that. Fantastic. Well, we will definitely come find you over at Firelight. And then let's go down to our bottom row here with Tabitha. Hi, Tabby.
Hello. Tabby, I find me she, her pronouns. You can find me frequently either at TabbyCat224 or at FrankenX on Twitch. And I will be playing a 100-year-old wizard. And she may forget a thing or two now and then, but mostly she'll remember what she's supposed to be teaching, usually.
Sometimes, occasionally. Well, a professor who I feel would never forget a single thing. Hello, Swole Initiative. How are you doing?
Hey, it's me. I'm Jay from Swole Initiative. I'm a guy on the internet occasionally. I stream on Swole Initiative Network and mostly just live around the internet doing fun things, I guess.
Good way to be.
I suck at these. I always suck at them. But tonight I will be playing Oswind Flappenheim, the the Owlin Chronology wizard with a penchant for clockwork. So yeah.
So excited. Absolutely amazing. And not a newcomer to this channel, but a regular old dork here is James. Hi, James.
Hello, how's it everyone doing? I'm James, aka Otheon. I go by he, him pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Victor von Carrick, who is an associate professor in the dual fields of noble preparation and professional henching. So it should be quite enjoyable.
Professional henching. Oh my god, that's so good.
We have standards to maintain. We're one of the vocational schools. We're small. We're kind of tucked into the basement of one of the other. Shut up.
They put you in the swamp of Witherbloom, out of the way. Fantastic. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I'm so excited. This is such a wonderful crew. I'm so stoked to be playing with all of you. So let's just kind of do a quick little intro to where we're at. So for those of you that may be new and watching this for the first time, we have been running Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos, which has truly been exactly that, a masterclass in how to run chaos. But we're going to take a little break from that because it's the summer. We finished first year. All of our students have gone home to deal with their own chaos independently. But what happens at school during the summer? Some of us have taken, summer intensives, if you're like me and tried to be keener and tried to take additional classes over the summer. And so obviously there's got to be professors kicking around. There's going to be, high school tour groups and the kids that are Yeah, kids that are making up stuff and need to take that extra course so they can take the next ones next year. So we're gonna see kind of what happens in that world. All of you guys are professors here at, or associate professors here at Strixhaven University, which is its own little demi-plane unto itself. So what, I think we kind of briefly talked about what people wanted to teach. So what classes are you teaching this summer? Let's kind of go in the reverse order. James, you kind of mentioned what you're running, but what classes are you teaching this semester over the summer?
Well, pretty much my classes are like mostly the same year round. My tenure here has been, let's just say, extensive. But yes, professional henching usually deals with. I also teach introductory henching, introductory and advanced henching. Introductory, usually it's the well, we cater to the in particular to those creatures of the night who require suitable assistance of various grotesque varieties. So we're one of the more open sub-schools of Strixhaven. Yes, it can be a difficult marking. It particularly is challenging.
More like a continuing education situation.
Yes, that's more along the lines of it.
Oh no!
And of course, I also extend myself out to monster slaying and the like, but mostly it's the henching side of it. That's where the real money is. We get a lot of return students.
Oh, to upgrade their skills for different people. Amazing. Okay. What is Oswin Flappenheimer teaching in this summer semester?
Well, I mainly teach time-related math, but I also teach small classes on timekeeping, timetabling, just basically anything where I can guarantee that there'll be less people.
You purposefully misname classes so people won't take them. Spectacular. I'm here for it. Amazing. And what does Professor Kenzie Bosch teach?
Professor Bosch has kind of been pushed aside from the required curriculum classes and teaches those bird classes that kids need to take in summer school to get their credits back up. So the main classes she teaches is the magic of mundane science, as well as a tea scrying.
Amazing. Not actual divination, just tea scrying.
Tea scrying. So it's really an excuse to drink tea.
Which we all need. Fantastic. And Professor Phalor, what are we teaching this summer semester?
Well, taking a break from traditional law and all of those different types of things. In fact, Professor Carrick, could I get a roster for that hench class? I might need it a bit later. Anyway, this summer I'm going to be teaching interplanal law. It's a riveting subject. I have one student who I can't get rid of.
Oh, I'm that person. I did a summer intensive international law class that basically you learn all this stuff that really just says there is no such thing as international law. It's great.
See, you've passed my class already. Can you tell Schmendrick, please?
Yeah.
Please tell Schmendrick. It's
One
all
day.
right
And what pray tell is Professor Pitterpatter teaching?
Oh boy, it changes, it varies, semester to semester, but this semester we're focusing on rebellion, chaos magic, and how it has, in the history of magic, really defined our course in the world today. I have many students. I would say I have a history of it being an easy A course, but to each their own.
Now, is this focusing on the history of rebellious magic or teaching rebellious magic?
I will not confirm nor deny what goes on in my course.
Wonderful. I'm sure all the higher ups are perfectly happy to accept that.
I'm a lore hold, professor. Everything's fine. You don't need to worry
Sure.
about it. Just let me know if you're coming by.
We'll need to get
I'm
the
totally
blast
auditing
shield
that
up.
class under a different name.
Yes. Everyone's just in there with like disguises. Amazing. Fantastic. Well, on these, you guys have been teaching these classes. You're on kind of a day off. You got mostly prep time today. So nothing too terribly exciting going on, but you got to be on campus. So to sort of see who we get to meet, can I get everybody to roll me initiative?
Ooh,
Oh, lovely.
God,
Give me that kind of
terrible.
rolling.
That's what I love to hear.
Oh my.
That was
Does this
abysmal.
pen work? This pen doesn't work. We need a different pen. I'm so prepared, guys. This is me in university, honestly. Okay. Who got anybody get a 20?
23.
Of course, the time professor. Oswind.
I saw
anybody...
it coming.
always right on time. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14?
We're crushing
Right.
it.
I got a 21.
Oh, you got 21. Okay.
I just had to figure out how to do it.
Oh, no. You did it. That's all that matters.
Technology. These
So
kids and their technology.
kids. So I think we were at 13, 12, 11, 10.
Ah, we have a winner.
9.
Yes.
Oh, is it 10 and 10? Both 10s?
Yes.
I'm at 11.
Oh, you're in 11. Okay. So Victor is one
Victor
ahead.
is at 11.
All right. Victor.
Just like his henchman, just
As
one
we
step
should
ahead.
be.
Yeah, you gotta be. You gotta be one step ahead. One step ahead of the law. Appropriate. And then little biscuit right at the bottom.
You know it. I got a 7.
Beautiful. We're off to a good start. Fantastic. So let us begin summer school. Summer vacation, a time of relaxation for students and professors alike. After a long and arduous year of academic excellence, a long and relaxing rest is well deserved. Oh, but not for you, of course. You belong to the ranks of the adjunct staff, a motley mixture of guest lecturers, summer school teachers, and custodians who supplement the skeleton staff that keep the campus open during its summer break. The work is hardly glamorous, but at least the pay is mediocre. Still, there's something beyond magical about the sweeping vistas, hallowed halls, and pristine libraries that appeals to even the most jaded souls. Your day begins normally. So Oswind, how does Oswind's day begin?
Well, I wake up about 2 minutes before my alarm goes off, as usual. I usually see it coming, so I'm ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Is he a big breakfast kind of guy?
Well, it's all kind of boring to me. I've all seen it before, so I usually eat my bowl of worms before I carry on with the day.
Wonderful. So you'll head out there from the professorial living quarters on campus. Head to your office. Can you roll me a d20, please? For this beautiful chart that Kelly's written me.
17.
Fantastic.
It's bad, I know it.
So as you are walking along, well, you are an owlin. Are you a walking owlin, or do you prefer to fly?
No, I walk. Well,
Okay.
I'm somewhat dome-shaped for an owlin, so I kind of waddle.
One of those little ones. It's just like a. I love it. So you are walking along or waddling along, and you see kind of off to the side, kind of underneath a tree, there almost looks like a hole in the ground. And just outside of the edge of a hole, you see a collapsed myconoid, which is sort of a anthropomorphic mushroom. But they seem to be unconscious and collapsed below this tree.
You bother. I'll walk up to it and kind of let me see. Do I have? Yes. I'll cast Mage Hand and I'll poke it.
Wonderful. You poke it a little bit, and they kind of stop it. They shake their head a little bit and look up, and very sort of dazed go, "Oh, hello, where, where, one of those questions?"
What?
Sure.
Are you meant to be somewhere?
We're working
Quickly, I don't have time.
We're working down in the tunnel underneath the school. But a bunch of my workers are doing. I don't know. What's your passive perception?
18.
You notice that there seems to be, like, you don't, myconids you don't see a lot of, especially not out in the light, but you've seen enough of them working around campus or perhaps in your other lives, and you see these ones seem to have kind of like almost like look like moldy patches, like white fuzz that doesn't look quite right. And as he's kind of like scratching, it sort of like puffs off in spores and is kind of like feeling a little, and seems to look even dizzier.
Oh dear, I'll take 5 steps back and take a hanky out of my pocket and put it to my beak. Is that normal?
Well, a bunch of my workers have passed out. I came up to try to get them some medical attention and seem to have done the same myself.
You look like you need to take a bath with some mushroom and shoulders.
Oh, is that? Are you a doctor?
Oh no, not that far, Professor.
Didn't finish his doctorate. Can you roll me? Didn't have time. Would you mind rolling me a intelligence, medicine or nature, if you have either of those, or just intelligence otherwise?
What, nature or medicine, you said?
Yes.
Both +3. Okay.
12. I told you I wasn't a doctor.
Yeah. Oh. So you're looking, and obviously there's something wrong, but you aren't a doctor. So what do you know? But he's looking as he kind of tries to stand up and then leans against a tree and sort of slips down it and is not doing well. Do you mind getting somebody?
Certainly, and
I'll look around. Is there anyone, or is it just me?
Let's find out. Odds or evens?
Evens.
Yes. As you are looking around, you see there is a student, sort of very laden with books, kind of making their way. It looks quite young. Is clearly just like real keen, just really wants to get their learning in. But they're kind of juggling these books as they try to walk past you.
You there? You look like you have time.
It stops, and they are a Dampier, a male Dampier, kind of looks down at you and sort of like tries to adjust their glasses Yes. One moment. That's really cocked. There we go. Yeah, Professor Flappenheimer. Yeah, time. What did you need something? Can I do something for you?
This Mike in it. What was your name? I'm sorry.
Relabel?
Relabel?
Yeah.
That's very hard to say like this.
It's a native Myconid word.
Relabel.
I'm so glad you got this one.
Dear boy, would you mind going for help for dear Relabel? Yeah.
Sir, do you have the time? Like what time it is?
No, always.
It's
And I would know what time it is.
perfect. You pull out one of your numerous clocks, and tell him whatever the time is, and he clearly looks very concerned. Can you make me either a persuasion or intimidation check? You can roll with advantage because I rolled that he knows who you are.
Good. That is a 6.
I'm awfully sorry, Professor. But I have an exam in just a couple of minutes, and I don't want to be late. You wouldn't want someone being late for something, right? And he
No,
kind of starts
that's
to walk
true.
off.
Unless it's my class, feel free to just skip it.
Of course, yes, sir. As he wanders away.
Well, I guess you're with me.
And I will take him at kind of two wings length away to the nurse's office, I guess, like some kind of
Perfect. There's
medical
an
place.
infirmary. It's a magical
go.
university. Of course there's an infirmary. Wonderful. Yeah, he sort of kind of follows behind you sort of drunkenly and like tries to kind of lean on you, but then kind of like falls over. And... but he's basically kind of just following you more or less, and you're kind of keeping him awake with mage hand poking him. And you guys make it to the nurse's office, and you leave him there, and the nurse thanks you for your assistance, but assures you that he is in good hands, and he will be taken care of.
You want to pay attention to his scalp. It doesn't look healthy.
Oh yes, we will for sure. I'm sure there's it looks like
Some kind of blue shampoo or something you can leave in there.
Oh yes, it's quite a simple remedy actually. It's just a minor infection. Often happens in mushrooms, and when you are a sentient mushroom, you're apt to get these kinds of things. Not a problem at all. Thank you again, Professor.
Yes.
I'll just kind of mumble to myself and walk out.
Perfectly, and you continue on your way to your office. Professor Bosch, how does your day start?
With a cup of tea and warming up the old muscles.
The little aerobics?
Just working out the kinks.
Wonderful. So you get up, you do your little does she do a little speed walking, which is very slow but speedy to her?
Yeah, with some arm swinging, and sometimes the hips get in there.
Wonderful. As you go out on your hip swinging walk, can you roll me a d20, please?
8.
An 8. Wonderful. Oh no. So you are walking along, and your path to your classroom in Quandrix, you walk past the silk ball field, where they do their training, which is we don't know the rules of, but have assumed it's something like rugby. But assistant coach Buzz Ironwarden, who is a Warforged, you see him sort of setting up, and he clearly is trying to stand something up, and then something falls down next to him, and he kind of gurk, lifts the one up. The other one falls down behind him, and he turns and looks, drops the other one, tries to lift the other one up. This is clearly not a one Warforged job, and he's struggling a little bit.
How big are these things that he's
They're human size. They're like tackle dummies.
Oh. And sorry, what was his name? Assistant
Coach Buzz Ironwarden.
Mr. Ironwarden. Mr. Ironwarden, do you need some help?
Oh, I could definitely use a set of hands, yes. I have
Okay.
one myself, but it is not enough. Ha, 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 ha.
As soon as I see someone, I'll make sure to send them your way.
It would only take a moment if you don't mind just holding that there or put the pin in it.
A pin? I could lift a pin.
Yeah, if you walk over, he will hand you something that looks more like a railroad spike. Can you please roll me an athletics check? Sorry, a constitution athletics check. So if you are trained in athletics, you may use your proficiency. Otherwise, roll for just constitution.
14.
Oh, you stumble. And it ka-clunk, and you are heaving and just he will reach down and pat you on the back and say, Professor, are you okay?
She reaches inside her cloak and pulls out a Werther's. I'll be fine. I'm just gonna be on my way now.
Yes, of course. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for your help.
She hands him a Werther's too.
He looks at it and looks down and looks up, and his metal jaw just kind of goes clonk, and he puts it in, wrapper and all, and just goes clonk.
Thank you.
I've already wandered off.
He waves until you are out of sight, and then turns back and continues working on his pieces there. And you wander your way to your office. Victor, how does Victor's morning start?
Well, Victor's morning starts early because it is the end of his night, right?
Right.
So, probably entirely riding back from his like master's domain.
Have we discussed your master yet, and who that is?
Oh, I created it's Lord Hemorrhagus the Vain.
Oh my god.
His symbol is this like it's like this little like silver dagger with like 3 like little ruby blood droplets coming off of it.
Oh my god. Hemorrhagus the Vain, spelled
Lord Hemorrhagous the Vain Vein.
I was gonna ask you, which vein are we saying here? Vein. We have no idea what kind of race this creature is. No one would guess with a name like that. Fantastic. So you are you ride. He has a number of the undead professors have their own little building off to the edge of campus. Off the edges of Witherbloom, and so you are riding towards your perhaps maybe not domicile, but your office area to you have Professor Lord Hemorrhagus. Where's the emphasis?
Yes.
Sure.
I don't think anyone can pronounce it, even me.
They're perfect.
That's why I always refer to him as my lord.
They're wonderful. You know what? Good life skill. So your master very, very kindly booked his office hours during the daytime when he is not able to attend, and so very kindly offered you to hold his office hours. So you are heading to his office to watch his office hours. And on your way, can you please roll me a d20?
You certainly can. I have rolled an 8.
An 8. Oh, we just did that one, so roll again.
Okay. 17.
Oh, we did that one too.
It rolled an 8 again. There we go. 12. There we go. 12. That's
Perfect. Okay. So as you are wandering along, you said you're riding? Are you riding a creature of some sort?
Oh yeah, no, I think it's like some sort of beautiful, like, nightmarish stallion.
Ah, beautiful. So this like jet black with like flowing locks, will all of a sudden kind of who's got coconuts?
Exactly.
Will all of a sudden
One day I'll have a hench of my own. It's gonna be a lovely time.
Oh, beautiful. A sub hench will sort of skid to a halt, and can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Of course. Probably not. Damn. 13.
Okay, so you kind of like get flung forward so that you're kind of like koalaing onto the back of its neck, very undignified, but you not on the ground. And as you look down, you see what your horse has stopped at, and there is a very thick line, like. It almost just looks like a black line at first, and then you realize it's ants kind of going each direction, almost like a highway, like a two-direction. One's going one and one's going the other. You see on the one side there is a large ant hill. This is Witherbloom. It's pretty normal, but they seem to be going off kind of into the wooded area to the other side.
He will climb off of his horse.
Wonderful. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
Perfect. You sort of you sit your horse there and sort of see the trail going into the woods a little bit. If you walk to the edge of the tree line, you will see there is a specific tree that they are climbing kind of partway up and then turning around and heading back away. Just slightly into the woods.
Well, that's most curious. Venturesome into the woods, or office hours. I am going to those damn woods.
Fantastic. You will walk up to this tree, and the tree seems to be like, sap. Sap comes out of trees. Pretty normal. This sap looks like it has like gold flakes in it. Like it is shimmering almost in the very little light that is coming in through the thick tree cover. It seems to be that these ants are in big swaths coming up and taking a big glob and then walking back to their anthill.
I'm gonna reach out a finger and
roll me an intelligence nature or wisdom survival check, please.
Oh, I'll take
instantly
survival,
poisoned.
please. Oh god. Intelligence is not my thing. That will be
Wisdom
15.
survival is an option too. 15?
Wisdom. Yeah, with survival would be a wisdom. 15.
15? So you take a lick of this and you go, this is... It is a very sweet sap. and it seems to be all like it almost has a syrup texture. Like syrup needs to be like treated once it's from sap to syrup. But this one is almost syrup consistency, like right away. It's quite tasty.
I think you're onto something here, Ants. Wonder what kind of tree this is. He's gonna. Why not? Like he's just gonna probably make a circle around the tree, just kind of looking around. Okay. And of course, being where I am, I'm also gonna be like, excuse me, tree.
You hear a rustle, and a yeah. What do you want?
Do I see what that was? Or was it a tree, or was it like the...
Roll me a perception.
All right. 10.
It seems like it's coming from the tree. You did talk to the tree.
Hello, tree. Might I say what a fine specimen of tree that you are.
Yeah, I know.
If I might ask, why are you hemorrhaging sap? Are you wounded, perhaps?
I just had too much. I had to get rid of the excess. Oh. That's what trees do, right?
The eyebrow will...
you can roll me an investigation if you're looking a little closer.
Here. Yeah, I am totally looking closer. Goddamn. 7.
You can't see anything in this is clearly just a very... You know what? There's some sassy trees. It's sassy and sappy. It's just...
Okay.
Yeah, what do you know? I'm a tree. I know all about trees. And we get rid of sap when there's too much of it. That's how it works. You can take some if you want. I am a generous tree.
Oh, thank you.
All right, that's enough. Now get out of here. Leave it for the ants.
Can I climb this tree?
You can try. Roll me athletics.
Sure. Here, I'm just going to climb up here just so I can have a better word with you. And there I get a natural 20.
I just saw Kelly's chats in the YouTube chat. Roll to seduce the tree. You climb this. Would you like your natural 20 to seduce the tree or to climb it?
Oh. I think I will climb for now. We'll see where the night goes.
It's a good start. You expertly kind of like bounce off one tree up to another and sort of bounce your way up as the ranger you are. And as you pull yourself up, you all of a sudden kind of stop yourself as a squirrel holding kind of shaking a tree branch looks at you and goes,
"Oh, hello."
What?
That's amazing.
Did you just deceive me?
Well, if you can't figure out the difference between a squirrel and a tree, was it really deception? Or were you deceiving yourself?
Yes, it was.
But, well, maybe you need to learn people better. Or squirrels.
Okay, I have an ability I'm gonna use.
Oh no!
Alright, so I have hunter sense that I can peer at a creature and magically discern how to best hurt it. Just in case I need to, because you deal with some weird shit with what I do. Just in case, I can sense that it has like damage immunities, resistance, vulnerabilities, and what they are.
It's a squirrel.
It's a squirrel? Okay, cool. He's just gonna be like, and just kind of like, he's just gonna give it a real level-eyed sense and be like, all right. Well, sorry to have disturbed. What exactly are you trying to do?
I was
look
just
up
trying to
he's
get
trying to
those
shake
nuts up there. That's all. But you started talking to the tree and it sounded funny. You don't get up to much when you're a squirrel.
Well, here, let me see if I can get those for you. And I will try to grab down the nuts.
Perfect. You managed to grab a few little acorns and hand them to this squirrel. Oh,
Well, thank you so much. I'm sorry for deceiving you.
I'm sorry for being deceived, but I'm glad we managed to work it out. Like good, sensible, proper beings.
Mm-hmm.
he just like leaps and runs away. Yeah, throws one of the acorns down, it turns into a smoke bomb, and he runs off into the tree. Why, these are smoke bomb? Maybe these are smoke bomb acorns. Pat
I'm gonna collect some for myself.
Beautiful. You now have smoke. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering your module, Kelly. Oh my god, I love it. But
I'm sure these will come in handy at some point.
you'll have to add ninja squirrels and smoke bomb acorns into your module now.
I hope I don't detonate when I jump out of this tree.
You definitely set one off as you land. It falls out of your pocket and poof. It takes you a minute to you step in numerous puddles as you try to in the Google Doc just popped up Kelly's note. Ninja squirrel. Kelly's module is in a Google Doc. It's so good. Whew, okay. Amazing. So you managed to finally escape out of here. The ants go marching continuously. Your horse, you managed to convince the horse to step over it, and you continue on towards your office, or your master's office. Are you taking any of the sap with you, or are you just...
Oh yeah, God, yeah, totally. Okay. I like this because I have like ampules for collection purpose. Stop asking questions, and I just load one up with some syrup.
Perfect. Wonderful. So you grab one little dose of syrup. Dose isn't important. Don't worry about it. Then as your day sort of goes on, we move into sort of, you guys, the three of you manage to get to your offices. You do some prep. You do some, you have, luckily there's no students that come by because no one's really coming to office hours right now. But we get a little bit later and everyone's getting a little peckish. And so sort of into the midday, where is Professor Phalor and what has his day looked like so far?
Oh, well, after dragging myself out of bed around 8 a.m., I got my familiar Cuff, who's a brilliant green tree snake. He wraps himself right around my wrist. Stays with me all day. We pretty much do whatever we want in the morning, which should technically remain our business, but for the purpose of exposition, he goes to the library, and he's investigating a very important topic, and would rather not be bothered by class. That's why he schedules them in the afternoon.
Beautiful. Wonderful. So he's spent his time after the library, and you've done your very important research that will remain unknown.
Very hush.
And very hush. Now, as part of your part of your pay and the benefits of this position is you do get to eat for free at the school cafeteria. Which is renowned, very, very well known, and the food there is not typical university cafeteria food, but is in fact quite good. So it is definitely a perk of being able to go there. So you would find yourself on your way to the cafeteria. After an eventful morning, you find yourself taking a late lunch in the cafeteria. If there's one thing that makes working at Strixhaven worthwhile, it's the stunning variety of food that the campus imports from all realms of the multiverse, all included for free as part of your staff account. As you enter the building, You can't help but imagine the options. Imperial crepes, knucklehead trout steaks from the frozen north, spiced potatoes imported from a treetop inn, or half a dozen noodle and sandwich options, and more. But your heart soon sinks into your empty stomach as you see the cafeteria swollen to bursting with dozens of the most chaotic and dangerous creatures in the multiverse. Teenagers. It appears that today the campus is hosting tour groups from other realms, each full of eager prospective students for future academic years. Just your luck. You soon find yourself surrounded, but wade into the throng, too hungry to consider spending your remaining lunch hour walking across campus or going the rest of your shift hungry. Can you please roll me a d6?
Yes. 3.
A 3. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm so glad. So you step in and you are like, it is a concert in here, basically. You're smooshed in against everyone. You have a large, like, very pimply faced orc teenage boy, like, right up against you. Like, your face is like against his chest as you guys like push through to get to the food. But you see directly in front of you, or as you're kind of wading through, there's tables that are full of people, and you see one ASMR who is sitting there. He looks like he's sort of angrily scribbling in a notebook and kind of like looking around and scribbling. You know, you get a lot of these guys at Strixhaven. Now, does Phalor read death metal font?
So
Languages does he speak?
Well, this thing is there is an ability that he does, but I'm just going to double check that really quickly. No, he would not read that. Okay. Nor would he expend energy trying to figure out what it is.
So on the back, the back of his shirt, it is that very like real edgy death metal font that is totally illegible unless you are a metalhead, and even then, sometimes can't figure it out. But he is angrily scribbling in something. Can you please roll me an insight check, wisdom insight?
Oh, okay. 17.
Okay, so as you see him, he seems to be scribbling something in his book, and he looks up, and every time he looks up, he occasionally is looking around, but usually he's glaring right across the room, and in sort of that kind of like movie, it zooms in on this really buff orc. You want to say boy because he's clearly a teenager, but like orc man, like this is like he's got to be the quarterback of something. Just absolutely stunning, glorious tusks, just a sick mohawk, just like absolutely perfect, and just like smiling down at this like throng of people of all just kind of like that are all sort of, you know, doting on him in the way that high schoolers are wont to do. And you kind of look down, you notice his you see what he's writing in his book. Do you mind rolling me either an arcana or a religion check?
Sure. Either or. Let's go arcana.
Sure.
15.
Wonderful. You look down. You've seen this before. You're used to legal contracts. This kid is clearly trying to take his first level in Warlock. Maybe not doing the greatest job, because you look down and you see that he's writing an infernal.
Oh.
And do you speak infernal?
I don't, but I would at least know where to look at it.
Yes, you recognize the regular words that come up a lot. You've seen a lot of contracts written in infernal, and you look and you notice that there's a very key word that seems to be missing. And this clearly, this reads your typical, I want to sell my soul for this power, blah, blah, blah. You recognize all the keywords. But then you notice that when it says demon, it's a little off. And instead of a duh sort of sound, it looks more like a ul like some kind of L. So in
Oh,
yeah.
he's trying to cast a pact with a lemon? This poor child. All right. All right. Listen, I can't help myself. Pardon me.
What do you want, man?
Well, I can't help but notice you furiously scribbling something and glaring quite anxiously across the room at someone. Would you be happening to trying to form a contract to become, I don't know, say, powers of deduction and all a warlock?
What about it?
Well, because if you are, one, you know you have more options than the infernal realm. Two, it's not all it's cracked up to be if you're looking to do more than just explode things from time to time, although if that is your aim, I mean, you're on the right track. There is more convenient things that you can do, such as this. And Phalor's extremely hungry at this point, but the line is just forever long. So he is going to cast Sacred Flame, and he's just going to kind of make a flame explosion just kind of around his hand to help clear a path of students.
Roll me intimidation with advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's a 23 and an 8. We'll go with the 23.
23. It is Moses and the Red Sea. Like, you have a perfect path, and you look down at this kid, and he is like anime senpai, like glitter eyes looking up at you, like absolutely like smitten, and just wow.
Right. So, what's your name?
Dale.
Dale. Right. So, let me perhaps give you some advice. One, if you are going to try and attempt a pact with a demon, make sure it's with a demon and not with a lemon, because you're not going to get very far that way. I don't even read Infernal, and I can tell that that's absolutely piss poor. Secondly, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go, but not before I give you one last piece of advice. Don't let bullies ruin your day. I see you looking at that rather perfection of orc specimen over there, and I'm just going to tell you that even with magic, you're going to have a tough time with that one. Best to just let it go, grow thicker skin, and find a new hobby. Good day to you. And he's just going to get up and go down the now vacant line towards food.
Fantastic. As you walk along, we as the audience can kind of see him sort of Dale looking over at you and then down at his book and kind of slouches a little bit, and sort of like pulls off his big hoodie, and he's wearing like kind of a pastel purple t-shirt underneath that kind of matches his skin, and kind of looks at it all sort of sad and folds it away and puts it in his backpack. And as you walk into the cafeteria, the mob closes behind you. At that time, in the door walks someone who I believe also has a penchant for fire. And Biscuit Pitterpatter has come looking for some food. So what's Biscuit's day looked like?
All right, Gravy, let's see if we can get some hazelnuts in here. We worked up quite an appetite grading all those tests. Yup, graded lots of tests earlier today.
And Gravy is your familiar.
Yes, a tressum that is semi-transparent, very fey-like qualities, almost like glowing in an Aurora Borealis style spectrum of colors. And he's about the same size as me, because I'm a mouse folk, so I'm pretty small. And he's a regular cat size.
Amazing.
Floating around me, and he just sort of like props himself down on the floor and prances along as we make our way through the cafeteria.
Fantastic. As you enter the cafeteria, you see that it is much more packed than normal, and despite all of these being young sentient beings, a lot of them are bigger than you. Most races are bigger than mouse folk. And you will enter in. Can you roll me a d6, please?
Let's do it. That's a 5.
Fantastic. Amazing. So as you kind of walk in, you see there is a young girl at the door. So she's going up, and as you sort of enter, she reaches down and hands you actually she reaches kind of out. She's actually quite, because most folk are small, right? You're just small size. Yeah, so this young girl, teenage girl, hands you kind of pushes a piece of paper almost like in your face kind of, and is like, "Hi, do you have a moment to speak about Brig the Lightbringer?"
I certainly do, of course. And I look at the flyer.
It is something of a oh god, what are they called? A chit? The like religious pamphlets that don't really say anything but think they say everything. And you look at her, and she is a young halfling girl. She has a little name tag that says Church of Brig, BRYG. Who would you like to make me a religion roll?
Yes, please. 17.
Okay, Brig is from the plane of Elos, and is a god of hospitality. And is it a lot of like hearthwarming and stuff like that. So like as evangelicals go, not that bad. Is really just trying to be nice to people and let them in your home. And
I say, I always try to keep the principles of Brig in my classroom. I always keep the fire burning and drinks ready for students as they arrive.
Oh wow, really? That sounds very hospitable. That is definitely what Brig the Lightbringer tries to bring. What do you teach?
Well, a little of this, a little of that. What are your interests?
Oh well, you see, I was homeschooled, but I came along with one of the groups to explore Strixhaven as a cleric. I haven't studied any yet, but I would really like to follow Brig in a more active manner. But there doesn't seem to be many followers around here, and I don't know if I would be comfortable coming.
I don't know too much about our clerics here at Strixhaven, but I do know that we do have quite a good policy when it comes to creating clubs. If you're interested in being a leader and standing up for what you believe in, I think there might be a spot for you.
Oh wow, I think I would. I don't know about being a leader. I'm better at following things, but I suppose
you're a leader right now. Look at you. You just stopped me in my tracks and informed me about this new god.
Oh wow. Geez. Gosh, thank you. My name is Matilde.
Matilde?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. And I hand out a paw. Biscuit, Pitterpatter, lore hold professor. Be sure to check us out if you have some interest in unpredictable magic.
Oh wow. Gee, thank you so much, Professor Pitterpatter. I honestly wasn't sure about coming, but if everyone's as nice as you, I might just do it.
Oh, that's so great! Have you had a chance to try our roasted hazelnuts? I think they're on special today.
Oh gosh, once all my pamphlets are handed out, I'll definitely try some. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'll put the pamphlet politely in my pocket to throw in the trash at a later time.
Amazing. Wonderful. You wander your way in past. You see as you walk away, she's a halfling, so she's not terribly tall, but she's standing taller than she did before, and is putting her hand out a little bit more definitively to some of the bigger folks. You clearly had an impact on this young woman, which is, I'm sure, very much bringing folks into the fold of chaos is a very Biscuit thing to do. Wonderful. So you are going to make your way in to get some food. And as you sort of round your way through, our other three professors, Professor Flappenheimer, Professor Bosch, and Professor von Carrick, had made their way in a little bit before the throng and have kind of been hiding at a table near the back. And so they are you. Professors Pitterpatter and Professor Phalor will see some of their coworkers as the only empty table and the only one not occupied by entirely teenagers or very frazzled-looking high school teachers. And so you will see, eventually, you survive the throng of teenagers, though you do have to settle for your third or fourth meal choice. The din is incredible, but at the far corner of your room, you notice a solitary table, partially obscured behind a pillar and away from the noise. And as you approach, you recognize the friendly, or at least familiar faces of some of your fellow professors who are also escaping the chaos, and pull up a chair to enjoy a brief moment of respite. Yep, that's the thing. You guys, so Professor Phalor and Professor Pitterpatter, you guys sort of see these other three professors off to the side. What are the three professors that are sitting down chatting about?
See, I told you all to make it here earlier. Do you see what happened?
Why do we not know beforehand that there's going to be all of these high school students?
I knew.
Oh god. All they had was vegetables. I need some meat. Oh, lordy.
Professor Phalor and Professor Pitterpatter, you have reached the table.
Hello, all. Hello. They were out of my roasted hazelnuts.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I think Von Carrick will just reach into a pocket and just kind of pass over some of the nuts, not even thinking that there's
Forgetting they're smoked.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. I'm like looking in all my robe pockets. I don't think I have anything to trade.
Oh, just take them. Oh, actually, and he'll kind of like scoop those ones back and pull out ones from other pocket and put them.
Okay.
Sorry, those ones are.
I immediately begin eating them one at a time.
Did you see this coming? I feel like this is more my kind of style.
Honestly, I should have been paying more attention to my divination dreams. I think you're right. I should have had a bit more knowledge about what was to come today. I got like bamboozled right as I was walking in too. Oh boy.
The trick is not to talk to anyone ever.
It's true. I should try and be more like you. It's a bit tough. They come in with such wide eyes, and I just want to encourage them.
What's that about wide eyes?
Never mind. I meant nothing by it.
I'm kind of mumbling to myself. 752. 4382. Did I do 752?
All right, I'll bite. Professor Bosch, what exactly are you doing?
I can't quite get it right. It tastes strange today. Is there something going on in the stars?
I don't know. It's like the middle of the day, isn't it?
There are stars in the day. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there.
Very wise, Professor Bosch.
Yes, Mouse.
Phalor,
Phalor's just gonna. No. Philo is going to walk over, and he's actually got a decent plate going because he was able to kind of clear out the students for a second wave of food to come in. And so he just takes like a chicken leg and just hands it over to Carrick. Hey, Carrick, I made some room and I found some extra food. No one should be playing with just vegetables.
It's a blessed man.
Yes.
As you guys are sitting at the table, you see, you're relieved to see that the students have begun to trickle out of the cafeteria and continue on their tours. The cafeteria may be empty now, but it looks like someone cast a fireball in the room. Chairs are strewn everywhere, the floor is disgusting, and the tables are littered with discarded trays and unfinished meals left behind by the teenagers. A lone worker, a friendly kobold custodian named Svarjib, lets out a loud sigh and begins to clean up the mess. You could theoretically move to different tables, but you're here now. As you finish the final bites of your meal and prepare to head back to work, a human man dressed in a professor's tweed jacket rushes into the cafeteria looking around. You immediately recognize the man as Izar Fullglow, a associate professor of arcanobotany, though he looks much less composed than you're used to seeing him. Upon spotting your group sitting at the back table, he approaches you with a concerned look on his face. Hi folks, sorry to interrupt your meal, but have you seen a young tiefling around here about this tall, purplish skin with curly horns and white hair? If it helps, he had on a black Felcrow, the brand, backpack and a Mimic's Wyvern Ball jersey. Sorry, it's kind of urgent.
That doesn't ring any bells for me. I just spoke with the halfling girl.
Oh, no. No, he's oh yes, all the teen, no, he's a little bit younger. He's more, 12, 13. He wouldn't be coming here on tours.
Oh.
No, not around
Then
campus.
what is he doing here?
It is
He's
exceedingly dangerous to be just wandering around campus.
he's my stepson.
Oh.
Good
Yeah.
old
help
take
them.
your stepson to work day.
Well, you see, he's just going through tiefling puberty, which is a lot more flammable than a lot of people's puberties and is just not great to leave him alone at home. And spontaneous combustion happens a lot here, and so figured it might be a little bit safer, but we don't get on great.
Well,
And
he
so
might have
he
been
kind-
here because it did look like a fireball was set off earlier. It was a disaster up in here.
I thought first years were bad. Well, perhaps you could keep an eye out, see if he's around.
I don't mind.
Is there any bloodhounds around?
Probably, maybe some familiars.
I don't see any here now.
Oh, I luckily prepared locate creature today. This might work out well. We could see if they're within 1,000 feet of here.
Oh, wow, yes. Oh, gosh, absolutely, Professor Pitterpatter. Thank you so much for being level-headed in this moment. Yes, wonderful. I have a picture somewhere, and he kind of like clears out his pockets, and it's all like receipts and note papers and weird things. And he pulls out and unfolds a really nice, like probably magically done drawing. Goes, yeah, this is him. This is Temerity.
Okay. And I hold the picture, close my eyes, and a bit of like sparks start to emanate off of the photograph as I cast locate creature.
You get all this bubbling up and you start to feel sort of areas, like ways. He's definitely been here at some point, but he's been, sticking around. So, it's you don't get a sense of exactly where he is now. You get some like remnants of where he's been in the last like 24 hours, but would be expected for him to be here.
I have good news and bad news.
Yeah.
The good news is he was definitely here.
Oh, okay.
The bad news is he's not within 1,000 feet anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a big campus, I guess.
Sorry.
Yeah, well,
I was afraid she was going to say he was past tense.
True.
Oh, God.
I could have led with that. He's probably alive.
Oh God, his mother is gonna come back and kill me if he's. Whew. Okay. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. If you guys can. Maybe take a look for him. Maybe. I'm gonna go.
We'll give you a hand.
Oh, Professor Von Carrick, thank you so much. And he kind of like looks to the rest of you with sort of like hopeful eyes.
I don't know what more you want of me. I just cast a 4th level spell for you.
I don't... Oh, yes, thank you so much.
You walk around.
Yes, we can happily investigate this. Just go to my classroom and tell Schmendrick that there's no class today, and he can investigate the plane of, I don't know, Danzig or something.
Right. You have Schmendrick's yours. Oh.
Yes. I'm wonderfully blessed to have Schmendrick as my student. Very eager, that one.
Uh-huh. Yep. Blessed is the exact word I would use too. Wonderful.
Celestial,
I will
yes.
go. Right. Yeah. Okay. I will, go let him do that, and then I might check the library. Maybe ask around. I know, like you said, he's been around here a little bit. I know he's been trying to like meet people and not be around me, and I know there's some not great characters that come here for summer school, so if you can... Oh, sorry, Professor, didn't mean to wake you. If you can... If you can all maybe ask around, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. We'll help you.
Much appreciated. Kind of looks over at Flappenheimer.
What's all this we talk?
I believe I speak for
Fine.
all of us from my tenure here.
Come on, Professor. It's better than teaching class, right?
Oh, that's true.
A field trip.
Ooh. I can put
suppose-
my entire class on this. This is a perfect job for them. Anything to keep
I
those
suppose-
bastards busy.
Absent-mindedly wandering around the halls is better than teaching, so... I think I've got some time for it.
Oh, thank you so much. Wonderful. I really, really appreciate it, everyone. Here's my my cellstone number. And he'll pull out sort of a card that has like the Strixhaven University logo and hands it out to Phalor. And says, yeah, if you can just give me a call when you if you find anything, I'd really appreciate it.
You got it.
Okay, thanks.
We've got
and
it
he'll-
from here. Go.
Thank you. Yes, Schmendrick, right. Okay. And he'll
Please. Thank you.
head off to do that.
So, are we dividing and conquering, or are we sticking together?
Oh, are we actually gonna do it?
Well, he's gone, so we don't have to. I think I've got some elven whiskey in my office.
I was examining some rather interesting books in the library earlier. But I do suppose if we make a commitment, we should stick to it just a wee bit.
Agreed.
We did give our word.
We'll at least make it look like
Nothing
we did.
else.
I suppose I'm going to be walking around anyways. I might as well keep one eye or 2 or 5 open.
Just pulling eyes out of pockets.
Glasses everywhere.
Did you?
Do we all have cell stones?
Yes, absolutely. Everyone has cell stones.
Oh, brilliant.
I don't know how
Can
to use
scry
mine.
up a picture on
Yes.
my my cell stone for my class and be like, daily challenge: find this kid somewhere in Strixhaven. Go.
Where's Waldo?
Like 3 minutes later, you like the entire class as like a horde. Like it almost looks like a Katamari ball. It's just like a horde of all kind of going. It's like those. It's like it's a horde of flamingos. You know how they all kind of like walk like this, and they all just like look different directions as they go. That's your.
And they're
class.
all Igor. Like that's it. There's just a horde of Igors.
Yes, all just different size. They're all hunched with like one wide, like all different races, but they're all just like. Yeah.
He said he teaches henchmen, not hunchmen.
Oh yeah, none of them have actual hunches. They just thought it was a requirement of the position, so they're all wearing like they make their backpacks look like a hunch.
They're prosthetics. Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Yes.
get them at the store, for like the school store.
Well, now they're going for
them.
the Brazilian hump surgery.
Yes. Oh no.
All right, well, we better get this started. Where do students like to hang about? Being adjunct, I know we're not intimately familiar, but what's the next closest place to here that students would like to congregate?
The most common would be the Fire Jolt Cafe, or the Bozen Tavern.
I vote cafe. I could at least get some coffee there. I haven't had one in about 30 minutes.
I have no
That
reason
sounds as
to
good as-
think otherwise. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I don't mind. I think that's as good a choice as any. We're just 1 second.
And I'm going to like apparate my timetable and change all of the times for the classes for the day to complicated logarithm equations.
That should keep them busy for a while.
The times haven't changed at all. That's just the time thing of it is.
Well, they all variously work out to be like algebra that just spells canceled.
Yes.
I don't
If
even
you
cancel
chart
mine.
them.
I just, they'll show up or they won't, whatever.
At some point down the road, you'll just hear a big boom off in the
Yeah.
distance. Fantastic. Okay, so you guys are going to head to the Fire Jolt Cafe. Fantastic. You guys are going to walk in, and this is much more your style. This is a lot of the older crowd, like the master's students and like a couple other professors probably come hang out here. There is a young woman working behind the bar with a long white hair and sort of a tan complexion, and is very deftly making coffees and pulling tea and doing all these kind of things, and then just being a real badass about it as she gives out coffees.
Hello. Has a young tiefling come in here wearing? Fuck, I forget the sweater description. Does someone remember?
It was a wyvern, a mimic's wyvern ball jersey, and with a fell crow a fell Fell crow backpack.
They were purple. They had a Velcro backpack.
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. She kind of looks around. Like there's a couple of tieflings that are like, purple tinted with white hair and kind of looking around. Fjellcrow, Fjell. Looking around and kind of saying, no, sorry, I haven't seen them. I can keep an eye out. Can I get you coffee in the meantime?
Oh yes,
Yes.
please.
Decaf for me. Caffeine makes time kind of junky.
Yes, sir. Professor. Wow, I can't remember names tonight. Phalor. Professor Phalor, black, as usual.
Oh, as usual, except 2 extra shots of the good stuff.
Right. The caffeine good stuff, right?
Of course, this is a cafe, not a tavern. Let's cross the street, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, good
sure.
to know. Good to know for next time.
Perfect. We'll take all of your coffee orders.
Hazelnut latte, and I want the real good stuff.
You got it. It's like a hazelnut liqueur. And tea for you, Professor Bosch?
I've
Extra
brought
leaf?
my own.
Oh,
Just from the wand.
oh, from out of the
From-
wand. Amazing.
From out of the wand.
Does the tip open up, or does it just?
I was going to say, is there a little cap on the end?
Oh my God, yes. And Professor Von Carrick?
Oh.
Anything for you?
I've never ordered anything from here. What's good?
Well,
Yes.
the dwarven brew is very strong, and is but a little bit bitter. The dampier brew has a bit of a irony aspect to it.
Oh, I'll take that. I always need more iron.
Right. Perfect. Yep. Cool. And so she'll go off and start throwing all your drinks together. And as you guys look around, there's a number of people here. If you would like to, if everyone would like to roll me either persuasion or deception checks to go investigating.
I don't think it makes a difference for me.
19 persuasion.
Amazing.
Hey.
What'd you get, Jay?
A 4.
Amazing.
Oh.
Oh,
Pick whichever one that succeeds.
And I got a 6.
Slacking.
and Knight, what did you get?
19.
Oh, nice. Okay. And Tabby?
8.
Beautiful. Professor Bosch is just sipping her tea and is going to be reading the tea leaves and has no interest in actually asking anybody, is just going to figure it out with the tea leaves. Professor Von Carrick and Professor Flappenheimer they have gone to sit down at a table together to talk as if they are asking other people, waiting for people to come talk to them. But Professor Pitterpatter and Professor Phalor have gone to actually investigate and caught up with a couple of their students, a couple of theirs, and being the rebellious, ear to the ground types and the investigative types, they actually have a little bit of information. So between the two of you, you are able to come back to the table with the following information. You have found out that Temerity, despite being a little bit younger, has been hanging around with a trio of troublemaking first-year students who have had to come to Strixhaven for summer school. These 3 students are Jay Princemaker, who is a non-binary human, Orban Drakenvost, who is a male blue dragonborn, and Morgotha Spires, who is a female bugbear. And they have a tendency to, graffiti things, break windows and stuff like that, and just kind of cause a little havoc. The trio hates Izar Fullglow, Temerity's stepfather, who has asked you to find him, as it was their failure in his arcanobiology class that landed them in summer school. And the 4, most importantly, have been cited in the Witherbloom campus repeatedly over the last week. So it's very possible that is where you should be looking.
Is it Kenzie that's part of Witherbloom?
No, it is Von Carrick.
Von Carrick. Well, I guess we better go to the Witherbloom campus. Maybe we can peek an eye out on them.
See, Biscuit, I said if we'd sat down at this table, that it would eventually come to us.
Yeah.
You were quite correct.
You're welcome, by the
Impressed.
way.
Right?
We good cop, bad copped it out there.
Absolutely. Although, wait, Biscuit, I was wondering, are these students of yours?
No.
Oh.
Wait, let me think on that. They do seem quite chaotic. And I'll try and remember if I actually have had them in my class.
You had them in your class in first year. This is the summer break of their first year, just the past year. But you are hoping they don't come back for second year because they are chaos for the sake of chaos and not for any purpose, and they just kind of make trouble for people. And the more and they don't make trouble, they don't punch up, they're just bullies, and so you're not terribly excited.
Oh yes, the punch downers. Chaos without a goal, mind you. Not something I advocate for. Hopefully they don't come back next year, but I do have a bit of experience with them, I would say.
Von Carrick, are they in your class?
Are any of them in my class?
They are not hench people, no. They think they're too good for being hench people.
Wow. No, but they will be.
Spectacular.
But if they're mucking it up in Witherbloom, I suppose we should get down there and take a look around. I doubt many of my henches are going to get down that far. They tend to get stuck in the mud pretty easily.
So you guys are going to go investigate the Witherbloom campus?
Yes.
Sure, I just want another coffee first. That hazelnut sounds delicious.
On that, let us, Kelly, if you're there, if we want to just take a quick 5-10 minute break to go refill our waters or whatnot. Does that work for you? Wonderful. We will be right back. Hello and welcome back, everybody. All of my wonderful peoples are back, and you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful. Is everybody having fun?
Yes. I couldn't
So
believe the first half. I had to mute because I was squeaking. I just I don't know. I have like my grandpa wheeze, and it's just like I can't.
I'm sorry, what's wrong with squeaking?
Nothing at all, Biscuit. Please don't.
Thank you.
Yes, I always worry when we do, so you do kind of like one introduction at a time. It's like, oh well, is everybody bored? Is everyone kind of, but like I kept sort of peeking around and everybody was so like engaged and it made me so happy. So I'm glad you guys are having fun.
It was also really cool. I think it's Kelly that wrote this module. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved the diversity of just that first D20 roll of how we all started our days or whatever. I thought it was super cool.
Oh yeah, it's very, very good. And it's neat because like it's definitely set up that like everybody, if you were running this at your table, like everybody could roll an encounter out in the random on the campus. You can throw this random chart into any Strixhaven game or any game at a magical school. And then there's also all the cafeteria ones. There are some very funny ones as well. That yeah, they're all just top notch and very, very funny. So thank you for engaging with those. It was very good.
I'm just very happy that owls don't eat mushrooms, or that would have taken a real turn.
Owls do eat mice, though.
I've been concerned for Biscuit this entire time.
I guess it
Okay.
helps that they're the same size, right?
Yeah. I'm a pretty big meal. And I put up a good fight.
It's a little he's a little spicy.
Oh,
The way owls digest as well, that's like it's not a good.
Yeah.
Nope, no good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's been absolutely wonderful, and I'm very excited to continue on this adventure. So let us go back at it. When we left, you had just gotten some information. Yes. To the Witherbloom. You have discovered that it is very likely that they are at Witherbloom, somewhere around there. Who is leading the charge? Probably Von Carrick. That's
probably Von Carrick. He knows where he's going, and swamps are kind of my thing. So,
and hench people always open the doors, right?
of course.
As you are about to open the door for everyone, and you reach forward, you hear a thump.
I think you just squashed somebody.
It has come from the other side of the door. You haven't actually opened it yet.
I will open the door.
You open it inwards, and a body kind of falls in towards you. And you guys will see a grung, which I don't actually know what grung are. I should have Googled that.
Little
shouldn't I?
frog man.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Little frog guys. Not the grunge aesthetic. Grung, 5th edition.
Oh, there.
You know, but that's the thing now. The grung aesthetic.
The grung aesthetic. Aggressive frog-like humanoids found in rainforests and tropical jungles. Okay, so they're like tree frog dudes. I love it. So yeah, you see this kind of brightly colored, like, kind of flop in and sort of like look up, and it goes ribbit, and then kind of
Hello.
Yeah.
Do I recognize this tree man? Frog man? thing?
Tree frog man. No, but you do know that grung there is like a group of grung that do live in the swamps of Witherbloom. And it looks up, and who has a passive perception above 15?
I do.
Many of you. Yay.
Yeah.
You guys kind of lean around. I guess the two small ones around the side, and Phalor kind of over Von Carrick's shoulder. And look, and you see that this frogman is hugging a backpack very tightly.
Is it a backpack that we recognize the description of?
Yes.
Stop right there! Even though it's just like already on the ground. Put your hands up! I grab the bag. Look, everybody!
He grabs it back and sort of starts to like wrestle with you about
I
it.
tug of war with them, yeah.
Darren's is Darren's. Traded
How are these both like? Sorry. Are they
You got
both
this
small
as a
creatures?
trait?
Are they? I think they're small.
Yeah, I think they're small.
Size between 2.5 and 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, so same size.
Yes.
Can I just pick them both up?
Yes, but this grung will continue to pull, even when you're picking it up.
Hey, come on now,
Aaron.
separate.
Fancy bag, Darren's.
Did you say this was given to you fair and square?
Fair and square.
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation in his face and make like a spark go off in his face. So like
He just sort of freezes and like lets go of the bag, and his eyes, like his little frog eyes, go real big and just sort of like stops.
Oh,
Oh,
I think you may have broken him.
is-
I'll give him a little shake.
give me a moment. Phalor's going to initiate a mind link with the frog.
Ooh, okay. Go right ahead.
Pardon me. Where again did you say you got the bag?
Traded it
Where did you trade it, and when?
in Wet Home. Short ago.
Short ago. And Phalor's going to just be kind of translating and just speaking out loud. Got it from Wet Home, short time ago, right? Who did you trade it with?
Goat boy.
Goat Boy, right. What did you trade it for?
Hiding spot.
A hiding spot. Can you show me where this hiding spot is? I'll give you a hall pass.
What's a hall?
I like jaw drop. A hall pass? You're gonna give them a hall pass?
Listen, it's a special occasion, all right?
Oh wait, this is in
Surely
their
we
head,
can't
isn't it?
afford to
Yes.
give them that.
Yes.
Sorry.
oh yeah.
Sorry, I forgot.
Phalor's just. It's a special get out of class free. Doesn't happen very often. You'll get full
What
marks for
class?
the day.
What's marks? What's day?
Oh. Never mind. I'll get you a free meal in the cafeteria.
You have a coffee, right?
Yes.
He kind of sticks his tongue out slowly towards your coffee.
Would you like my coffee?
Wet?
It's hazelnut.
Wet hazelnut?
Yes, wet. Yes, wet. Wet. It is wet. Let me know where the hiding spot is. You can have it.
Reaches out. Tree in Wet Home. He holds his hands out, very much expecting that that's an answer.
There are many trees in Wet Home.
Yeah, you're going to have to be a mite more specific, mate.
Near
How about
Boss Frog.
this? How about
wait.
I hand
Why
you
don't
the
we just have
coffee
him
and you walk us to the tree?
That works.
All
But
right,
no,
here you
and he kind of pulls his hands back as you try to hand it to him and goes, "No, Boss Frog."
No. We deal with Boss Frog. You get coffee. Wet. You get wet. Yes.
Wet.
And I'm going to transcribe. So this fine creature is going to take us to the hiding place that it exchanged for this backpack not too long ago to the goat boy, who I'm assuming is a tiefling that we're looking for. It's going to lead on, but does not want to deal with Boss Frog. So, Von Carrick, any idea about Boss Frog? And he's going to hand
Do I
him
know
the coffee.
anything about Boss Frog?
He takes the coffee, holds it up, and dumps it on his head. And hands you back the cup. Yeah, and gets it on your arm.
He's just gonna like sip the last little bit out of the coffee. Well, it
So
was worth it.
roll me a knowledge check. I don't know. Nature? No. history, I guess, because it's intelligence, because it's about the place.
All right. Does my swamp bonus count?
Yes, sure. You know the swamp real well.
Yeah. That'll be 16.
16. You have never heard of, like, there's lots of frogs, but, like, there's never been a boss of them.
Boss frog. You know what? Things crawl out of the holes around here all over, all the time. They sometimes come up with exaggerated names for themselves. Never heard of boss frog.
Well, we're about to meet one. So, on we go. Lead away,
All right.
Fancy
my
bag.
grungy friend.
And we'll hold a hand out to Biscuit. Fancy bag.
Professor, it was a fair trade.
Okay. I give it back.
Needs for adventures. And he puts it on the front, kind of like a baby Bjorn.
See, that's smart because you have easier access to all your tools.
So many tools. And he starts just like pulling things out of the backpack. If anyone would like to roll an investigation.
I'm pretty good at that.
Sure.
I'll go ahead and roll.
I'll also try.
Fantastic.
18.
Dirty 20.
Oh,
Nice.
There was a thing in the bag.
19.
Oh. So he 19. Okay, perfect. So the three of you that rolled well. it was the three of you, right? Phalor, and Bosch and Biscuit rolled well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You guys, so tossing all sorts, like there's like a notebook with like weird scribbles all over it, like very teenagery thing. There's like a thing of deodorant. There's a bunch of weird stuff. There's like horn
Thankful
wax
for that.
and yeah. But then throws out a couple of bottles that kind of tink 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 to the ground. And these are like, they're potions. There's like a healing potion and like a speak with animals potion and
Ooh.
like a mind potion, all sorts of like, and they're all empty.
Ah, empty. Damn. You can't titillate me like this. You've definitely been up to something interesting.
All right, adventure, boss frog. And starts kind of waddling off towards Witherbloom.
Could I
Mockingly.
think? Could I think about what those potions mixed together might create or be part of?
Sure. I mean, yeah. Roll me a Arcana.
Yeah, 10.
Okay. It's mixing potions can have some pretty disastrous effects. I mean, those ones don't bring anything to mind specifically, but if these guys are mixing potions, it might cause problems, especially if they don't know what they're doing. Definitely could be a problem. So he is going to Darren, the grung, will very proudly lead you to the edge of the Witherbloom swamps, of Sedgemoor, the Witherbloom swamps. So let's take a look at the Witherbloom swamps. I believe we have a beautiful map, which correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is the one that Otheon himself created for us for the regular Strixhaven game. But this one is a little different.
Unless it's a modified one.
It is slightly
Yeah.
modified. I don't know. Oh, he made a new one. Oh, this is the new one. Even better. Where
Yes.
okay, so you guys will arrive at the somewhere. There you are at the northmost corner, the northeast corner of this section of the swamp. And as you enter, a soggy length of moss and mud connects the mainland to an island to the south. The brackish water stinks of peat and rot, and the few living trees that remain are deeply parched. The rest lie fallen along the island, though their branches still hold vibrant blue leaves. Fireflies the size of copper coins float through the air, illuminating the thick air like dancing candle flames. In the distance, you think you can hear the sound of something large moving through the water, but the sound vanishes almost instantly. To the east is an expanse of knee-deep water. To the west is another island outlined by a silty shoreline. Who here has a passive perception above 16?
I think here I would.
1, 2. Yes, I guess you would hear. Okay, perfect. So the three of you will be looking around and look down, and you'll notice there are some imprints, some footprints possibly in this sort of marshy area. It's a little bit easier to see. If anyone would like, they can either use an intelligence investigation or a wisdom survival check for me.
I'll do a survival check and try to track.
Do the thing.
Investigators investigate. 23.
Yes. Beautiful.
Where are we here? The game is afoot, literally.
That's 17.
17. Yes. So you look down first, and Von Carrick is used to tracking things through the swamps. You don't normally have to differentiate between humanoids. You're a lot better at the more quadrupedal, multipedal creatures. But Professor Phaelor is very adept at tracking humanoid feet. And so you immediately notice that there are 4 sets of tracks leading into the bayou, but there is only a single set leaving it that indicates that person was running.
Well, this is most disturbing. 4 in, 1 out. One looks like they had a very bad day.
And what did you roll again, Knight?
23.
You see as well, along the path that it is running, there are like almost little divots behind it and little sections of tree that have been knocked out of place. And it looks like that whatever was running away had a tail.
Oh, joy. Whatever was running had a tail, which could be a long-lost tiefling. Also could not be. That
yes,
said,
because there was a human, a dragonborn, and a bugbear that were
Yes.
the other 3 that were with them.
Dragonborn can sometimes have tails,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the subspecies.
Well, we've got no other leads. Let's see where that follows. Or do we
Well,
actually? I suppose we still have.
We still have a
where's
hockey
the
friend
drum
who's
gone?
leading us.
As you wander along, that survival check, Van Carrick, you do notice that a lot of these trees, they seem to have been knocked over like recently. Like they still look like they're kind of like alive, and the roots are still alive there, but they would need to be replanted if they were to survive. But something knocked these things over and ripped them up.
So I've got natural explorer. So I should know the size and when they pass through.
Okay. Yeah. Well, in that case, this was very recently, within the last 24 hours. And a possibly gargantuan creature was through here.
Oh.
I have a very bad feeling about all of this.
I do as well.
I mean, think
That's
about it.
Somewhat
We've got
exhilarating.
4 tracks in, 1 track out. That 1 track most likely are Tiefling Mark. And that would mean that we would have 3, albeit troublemaking students that are potentially stuck in the middle of the muck because something was chasing them. Why else would a student need someplace to hide, especially from a grung?
I would more
we
think
should
that they were
steel
trying to hide
ourselves.
from the bullies, and then some other thing came out to deal with them.
Yeah, but there's only
Either
4
way, we
sets of
only have one
tracks.
place to go.
It's true.
I hide from people all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, but you have an office professor. It's a little different.
Kids are always sneaking off to find a quiet place for them or for their friends.
Or for diddling.
Now I've got the mind of these 4 students having diddle time together. That's not what we needed right now. Okay, thanks.
All right, let's get
There's no-
tracking.
no
Let's
time for
go
that.
tracking.
A human, a bugbear, and a dragonborn walk into a swamp. No.
Oh Lord, now I'm imagining their children.
Oh no. So you walk into the swamp. God damn it. You walk into the
hairy
swamp.
things.
Which direction?
Hairy dragonborns.
Little fur under their scales.
They'd be so
Poking
quiet.
out from in between.
Yeah. They kind of look like an armadillo, just like the little bit tufts of fur between the plates.
Oh.
So where, if you're looking at the map here, which directions would you guys like to go?
The direction of the
there is-
footprints.
The direction of the
Yeah,
footprints.
but where the footprints go.
This is a fair point. Krista's forgotten which way the footprints go. Towards the larger island to the south.
All right.
It is
South it is.
kind of hard to tell because once you come off the little island, it does go into water. So it is possible that they walked off the end of the island and went north, or they could have walked off the end of the island and gone south to the other island. So could
Is
kind
our
of be either
frog
way.
friend still here, though?
Darren the grung is sitting is following you, and as you are looking at some of the downed trees, one that is clearly not big enough, he is going to point at and go, "That one."
Insight check.
Yeah. A
Go
high
ahead.
spot for 4 teenagers? Slash
just
young
one.
adults?
Boss Frog just want one.
I
The
don't
go
even
boy.
think I could hide in there.
18. He fully believes it. He's not lying.
Man, I just want to be like Princess Bride. Liar! Liar! Just, but I can't. Well,
Yeah.
all I can say is he believes it. I sure don't. But I suppose I have to say thank you.
Oh no, Darren, very sorry. That one, and points at one that's even smaller, and looks very proud of himself for remembering.
Oh boy!
Darren, where is Boss Frog? You don't have to see him. Just where is he?
He sort of reaches into his bag and pulls out a hairbrush. He does not have hair. And just starts like stroking his head. Wet home.
Where is Wet Home?
He sort of gestures vaguely.
I figured as much.
Is Boss Frog all of the swamp?
No, that's silly.
Of course.
Does
How
he have
big
a
is
section of
Boss
swamp
Frog?
that... Right.
Yes, how preposterous, Phalo.
He's just gonna give you this side eye, just like...
This is a serious matter. Let's knuckle down.
He's just gonna like... You're gonna see Phalar just kind of just make a gesture. And Flappenheim, you're just gonna feel a little shove. Like, shove you into the muck. He's not even gonna hide it. He's just straight up. just straight up just shove him like he's in the muck.
Oh no!
It's like watching a hummingbird. Like
Just kind of slowly rights himself.
Oh,
bring myself back down to the ground.
The Boss Frog, big. Real big.
like this big?
He kind of like reaches up and like pushes your arm kind of as far as it'll go, and then goes the other one, pushes it the other way, and kind of goes,
All right. Let's follow those tracks.
Would you like to go south, or would you like to go west-ish? South. Everyone's down for south. Wonderful. So as you go south, you will walk past a somewhat sunken, rotten stump that's kind of out independently in the water, and then you will come to a large island that has a few buildings on it that seem to have been in better repair one day or the other. Where would you guys like to look?
I have an ability as a mouse folk that I can scrunch my body down to be tiny sized, because like mice can like compress their skeletons. So I'm gonna look to see if there are like any cracks in this building, and kind of like squeeze my body and see if I can get a view on the inside.
For sure. The very first building you come across, farthest to the north.
Yeah.
Cool. So you take a look at this, and you recognize it a little bit. So as you go to this island, rising from the murky waters to the south is a large island that houses 3 ruined structures in a row from north to south. On the west coast of the island, a barren tree stands vigil over a pair of weathered burial mounds that glow softly in the fog, whether to directly below them, a series of gangplanks lead to an island further to the south. And then so you see, there's kind of a little walkway to a further island. But yeah, this first building, the original purpose of this building has long since been forgotten. Its walls and roofs are now broken and in disrepair. A soft chittering noise can be heard from within, coupled along with a soft squelching. So you would like to sneak in?
Yeah, but I'll stay in the crack, so I won't like emerge on the other side. I just want to get a better view of the interior.
Do you want to roll me a stealth check with advantage, please?
All right.
We have to investigate the squelching.
Yeah.
Ugh.
17.
Beautiful. Okay. What was perhaps once a field laboratory has now been converted into a stable of sorts. The floor is littered with musty twigs and grass. Long wooden troughs have been painstakingly dragged into the building and placed along its northern wall and filled to the brim with worms and other invertebrates, which 3 giant fire beetles equipped with makeshift saddles contentedly devour.
Okay, I'll pop back out and say, I think they may have passed by here. There are some beetles in there that have saddles on. Perhaps makeshift riding mounts?
How big are these beetles?
They probably wouldn't carry anything above a small-sized creature.
I'm like, they're huge!
They're massive! Yes, they are effectively medium-sized. Which, apparently centaurs are medium-sized, so what do you do? It's a vague description.
Rideable.
Yeah.
Well, best we look around, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah, all that you saw in that building was saddled beetles. There are the other buildings, though, if you'd like to look.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Oh,
completely
do those things
forgotten
have any
why
saddlebags
we're
or
out
anything
here,
on them, do they?
and I'm just wandering.
You just want... Okay. Roll me a d20. Just a good old d20.
Good in the path there.
Sorry, who is rolling the d20?
Oh, sorry. You, Tappy. My bad. Just roll, any old d20. Don't add anything to it.
Oh, natural 20.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
All right, so you are just kind of wandering about. You've kind of walked around this tree and sort of wandered back around. And you are then going to walk into the next building over. This derelict building was once a chapel, but any sign of its original divine caretaker has been long since wiped away by the bayou's decay. Broken shards of rotten furniture and ceramics litter the floor. The only structure intact is a small ceremonial well along its eastern wall. It doesn't look like there's been a lot, there seems to be a lot of wildlife that has sort of wandered about in here, but you don't really notice. But you do, as you are kind of wandering, you're sort of looking down, and your feet step through sorry, you're kind of following footsteps unbeknownst. You're trying to step in like the drier spots. It's kind of like walking in snow where someone else has walked, and so you're just kind of absentmindedly following these footsteps along. And there is, I definitely forgot there was a door there. I'm so sorry. I'm reading descriptions. And missed that part. So you are kind of walking about, and you kind of start doing a little circle and end up inside. There is a well, and you walk around the back and almost trip over a body, which there's normally no way you would have found anything, but you lucked out and tripped over a body of sorts.
Oh my.
They are currently unconscious, but if you would like to investigate them,
I certainly would.
You can make me a medicine check, which is intelligence.
14.
Woohoo. Okay, so you sort of like reach down and sort of like very delicately go to take his shoulders and then just kind of shake him a little bit. And he sort of the body sort of shakes a little bit, and but they don't wake up. You poke them a few times. times. Was anyone else going to investigate this building?
I was gonna send my familiar in to the next building, but I don't know. I'm so confused.
That's fine. You can absolutely go to the next building if no one is going to.
Did we hear anything? Did we hear the?
Everybody that would like to can roll me a perception check to see if you hear Professor Bosch.
Yeah.
Ten.
I suppose I would have. 22.
22?
Is it 15?
Okay. Professor Flappenheimer and Professor Phalor, you hear some squelching and then a very soft "oh dear," and then some vigorous squelching, and then nothing.
Oh, Professor, you okay in there?
I am fine. This young chap, not so much.
And at that,
For sure. Anyone that would like to may enter. And yeah, you see a body here. And Phalor, because you were one of the ones going around asking about the temerity, you will recognize this as one of the other folks. This is Jay Princemaker, the young human person who is one of the not so good students, and they seem to have fallen and hit their head.
can I do a medicine check, please?
Yes. Flappenheimer, would you like to do another medicine? Not that kind of doctor.
Not a
take
doctor
it
at
in a-
all. But thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
I did roll a natural 20.
Oh yeah, you did. Fantastic. Yeah, so you will find Jay with this human was clearly trying to like climb into the well, and just jumped a little too hard and kind of bonked their head and is now kind of like stuck kind of half in it, half out of it.
So just to clarify, he's alive.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Heavens.
And as you kind of like sit him up and try to investigate him a little bit, he kind of starts. They kind of start to wake a little bit and just sort of.
Wake up!
Duh! You are so tiny but so terrifying.
Thank you.
Just
Can't
that
help but
mental
feel
image
like that
is
was
just
a
like,
backhanded compliment.
how close are you to his face? I just want to know. Like,
Like 6 inches.
Actually has big eyes. Oh, someone draw that, please. Just real big owl eyes with glasses right close.
don't scare the poor lad. He just had a terrible bump on his head. You're all right, lad. You're all right. Tell me what happened.
Well, it's the big frog.
Boss frog.
Yeah, that's what it was calling itself. I think. I think it was our fault.
What was your fault?
We got Temerity, a stepkid of one of the professors.
We're aware.
Oh. God, I hope he's
And
okay.
Morgotha, and where are your other two compatriots?
I don't know. We scattered. We didn't know what to do. We took some. We got temerity to take some potions, and we thought it would be funny to give them to some of the creatures here in the swamp. But now, I guess one of the potions was a potion of awakening, and a potion of enlarge creature. And now Boss Frog that's what they're calling itself. It was chasing Temerity down for more potions because it doesn't want to be dumb again.
Oh, heavens.
Oh.
So, was it funny?
Was what funny?
You said it would be funny.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
And now we're out here wasting our time.
I guess we gotta find my friends. I don't. It was going after Temerity. Temerity made a. I think I saw him jump into a tree. I don't know. I think it was further that way, and he kind of points south.
Seeing this, I'm like outside of the room, but I'm like I'm close enough to hear this conversation, I think.
Sure.
Biscuit will like scan the area further south to see if he can see a larger tree.
For sure, yeah. If you go to the edge, you will see sort of a large kind of rotting stump.
Huh. Perhaps it's this one over here, everybody. And I pointed out to everybody.
And as you say that,
I'll wander over to.
You see a rickety wooden gangplank connects the large island to a round landmass dominated by the stump of what was once a huge tree. And you hear a loud, pompous voice shouting possibly towards the stump, or at least around it.
I say, child, tell me how you did it and I won't hurt you.
The stump seems to sob in terror as a youthful voice replies, I don't know, I swear. The arrogant voice lets out a frustrated croak and shouts, Fine then, I retract my generous offer of clemency. Dinner, prepare thyself. And as the voice finishes, you witness a gargantuan form rise out of the murky swamp. Its skin is slick with pond scum, and a hastily constructed crown of rusted metal sits atop its head. It is a frog grown to the size of a giant. With a croak of rage, it hurls itself against the stump, provoking screams of terror from within it.
Okay.
It has not seen you yet.
I'm going to drop my sword.
That's a very large frog.
Just real quietly, just...
Okay, he's very focused, so...
How far away?
How far away is this? Let's find out. You are about 35 feet. Oh, actually, I'm in the wrong screen here. Let us bring him about, shall we? It would help if I had the right cursor. Hang on. I can't... Why can't I select you? Oh, it's because I see you now. Oh no, you should be on the token layer. Yeah, can you guys see him on the screen?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Quite
I just realized, I was like, wait.
with a crown.
Yes. His little crown. Yeah, so he's sort of, he's got his back to you and is sort of headbutting and ramming the tree stump as you hear screams coming from inside of it. Thanks, Kelly.
Phalor is going to go ahead and mind link again.
Okay.
Because it's fun. And he's gonna try and he's gonna you bombastic bastard frog, you quit hitting me this instant. I am far older than you and far wiser. You think you're boss of this swamp, but it is I, this stump, who rules here. Now cut it out! You're disturbing my
Please.
guest.
Please roll me a deception check. Oh my god, that's so good.
Persuasion. And it failed. So badly.
No!
That would be a 6.
A which?
It's a 6.
A 6. Oh, I'm gonna roll my chonky die that Tabby got me for Christmas.
Biscuit waves his hand in the air, and you're gonna roll a nat 1 on whatever check you're doing as the frog. Because I have a nat 1 as one of my important rolls.
Perfect. High five, Biscuit. Let's go.
I might have rolled a 9, so between us we got a 6-9, which nice, but still, that's a nat 1. So even with his bonuses, that's stops and goes,
Well, look here, you shan't deny my royalty of this swamp. I demand it now. You can't even move.
I don't need to move. I am ageless and limitless. My limbs extend the whole way around this swamp. I've seen what you do diddling in your spare time. Don't even toy with me. You've been born for a day. I've been here millennia. Now you will stop this accostement of my bark at once.
Well, then I shan't unless you tell me your secrets of your own awareness. I shan't go back to being some dumb creature.
Time and patience. You should go
have
and
that.
sit and meditate it. No, meditate on it. You should try it. It's quite wonderful.
roll me a
Sit
persuasion.
alone with your thoughts. Oh god, again. Please! 21, let's go!
Oh. It stops, looks at the tree, and kind of sits like frogs do, or it sort of sits back and closes one eye and then closes the other eye and looks very grumpy. And will just sit there sort of frog growling for a while.
Now,
Could I
go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead,
Debbie,
please.
could I take this opportunity to try casting Reduce?
100%.
Um,
So good.
And I think, well, while that's happening, I think I'm probably going to start like quietly wading through the water, and I'm going to try to like go around the side and see if I can find a way of rescuing the kid.
Sure, roll me stealth, please.
All right.
Do you get advantage for being a swamp person?
No, but
I don't know.
double proficiency bonus,
Oh, there you go.
Ooh,
which is kind of
that's
cool.
nice.
So
I know
that'll
I have a passive.
be
My
dirty
ranger
20.
has a passive perception of 22,
go,
which is the most
Derek.
disgusting thing in the world. But that's awesome. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're gonna start waiting. And Kenzie. What do I have to do? Do I have to make a save or anything?
yeah, so I rolled a 25,
Okay.
and you have to save Constitution 14.
Constitution 14. Okay. It's really good going. Oh, but I rolled real bad. Oh, did you say 14?
Mm.
Okay. It's sitting there grumbling, and you see it all of a sudden sort of tense, and then kind of, and its eyes open and starts looking around, and it does not see Von Carrick sneaking around the back, but it does see the rest of you across the way and go, intruders! And everyone can roll me initiative, please.
We almost made it out alive without a ghost rat.
That was so good, guys. Oh, incredible. Oh my god. Okie dokie. So is anybody above 20?
No.
I am a 20.
At 20, okay. Is anybody else at 20? Okay, 19?
Biscuit,
18?
Pitterpatter, 19.
Perfect. 18,
Kenzie.
17, Kenzie? 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11.
Well,
Again. 12. Oh my
Yep.
god. At night?
Just skip down to 3. That's where
Oh
we're
my
at.
god. Okay. And Kenzie, what were you again?
I was 18.
18. Okay, perfect. And so then that's Boss Frog. And then
Terrible, because that's with advantage. It's terrible.
oh my god.
It's horrible.
Victor and Phalor. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so this frog turns to square off with the 4 of you. Victor's kind of snuck around. And Oswind, what would you like to do?
No bother. I'm going to take a moment to apparate a small golden waistcoat, and I will step into it and put it on, button it up, and cast mage armor.
Amazing. Okay, good. Yes.
You said golden.
Yes.
You are now the,
Golden.
You are now the living version of Bubo. That's great.
Yes. Yes, Boobo. Oh, love Boobo.
And
Are you
I
doing anything
will.
else?
Yes, I will take to the sky and fly 30 feet into the air.
Fantastic. Yes. Boobo from which are Jason and the
Clash of the-
Argonauts?
No, it's
Clash of the
Clash of the Titans.
Right.
Yeah.
One of those ones.
Athena's the
Isn't Maggie
mechanical
Smith
owl.
in that one? I think she plays.
Yes. She is.
Yeah. See, I know. I just.
Yes, that's
Oh,
amazing.
Yes. Oh, Boobo tattoo. Amazing. That's so good.
No,
Swole.
it's
That's so
a
good.
little steampunk owl, but it's close.
Close enough. Yeah, that's what Boobo is. Little steampunk owl. Spectacular. Okay, cool. So that is your turn. Perfect. Biscuit, what would you like to do?
Okay, I already see the chat is like chanting fireball at me, but
You're not
You know
seducing
what
it?
they
Oh,
want.
I thought we were seducing it.
we are in a swamp. There are trees nearby. I don't want to start any sort of forest fire that Witherbloom has to deal with, or swamp fire. I think, Kenzie, you might have had the right idea. And I'm gonna try and cast Dispel Magic at 3rd level on the frog.
Interesting. Sure. What do I roll against that?
So, the DC is so any spell that's 3rd level or lower automatically ends. If anything is 4th level or higher, the DC is going to be, I have to roll to beat it. 10 plus the spell's level.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, ancient tree stump.
let's go get the alarm.
Yes,
dude. Oh,
yes,
sorry, the
exactly. Yes, you're all too smart for me to have these things ready. For a moment, I was like, "Oh God, I smell burnt toast. Am I having a stroke?" And then I was like, "No, that's not burnt toast. That's garlic bread.
Ooh.
Who's making garlic bread at 10 o'clock at night?
Yum.
I mean, me maybe." Oh,
Have it for dinner.
fantastic. Kelly is messaging me things that are hidden behind stuff. Oh,
Are they
Where are
though?
you?
Right.
I love this music.
Okay, there we go.
The happiest combat ever.
Oh. Okay. So, okay, yeah, go ahead and roll. We'll see what you get.
Okay.
It may depend on that.
That's a 14 on the die plus 5, so 19 total.
Let's go.
Amazing. So you are going to cast that at him, and he shivers a little bit, and go kind of sort of like Mario when he gets hit.
Mario, yes.
But does not go down to a froggy size, shrinks down to something that's more huge sized. So he's still very large frog. They clearly fed this thing a lot of potions.
All right. All right, Gravy. We tried to be smart, but now it's time to be wild. And like flames appear at the tips of my fingers, but that's the end of my turn.
Amazing. Boss Frog is really unhappy about this because he liked being very big, and so he is going to take a legendary action.
Oh boy.
Oh, I should also say I'll try
And-
and move away from the group because right now we're all clustered. If
Right.
you'll allow me.
Yeah,
move-
absolutely. Move wherever you like.
I have 25 feet, so I'll just skitter along the edge of the island that we're currently on. 5,
Gotcha.
10, 15, 20. I'll go over here.
Okay. Oh, I actually can't do that yet. Grr. It's okay. He won't because he can't reach you yet. How dare you?
Let's dance, motherfucker!
His eyes are very on you. Kenzie, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm just going to kind of turn around, wander back towards the way that we were coming, and over my shoulder, just kind of throw my wand and magic missile. Like just up.
Beautiful. Classic. You gotta go with it. Wonderful. Do that magic missile. Which automatically hit, you just have to roll for damage for each thingamadoo,
Yeah.
I believe.
I think I can do that easiest here. So I have 3 of them. 9 damage.
9 damage. Amazing. Come on, keyboard. There we go. Perfect. Okay, these.
Plus 1 force damage for each dart.
Oh, perfect.
So
So that's an extra 3.
Mm.
Awesome. Okay. It takes these kind of against it, and it's sort of gelatinous looking kind of flesh kind of goobs in as you shoot at this thing. And it is somewhat protected from the sort of mossy coating that it has, the scummy coating it has, but it flinches and he now glares over at you. And then it is the frog's turn, and it is not happy about losing its size, so it is going to move 30 feet over this way. So it's gonna go from here to about here, and go after Biscuit, and just over top of, inadvertently stepping over top of our friend here. And I still don't think it can actually reach you though. Yeah, because you're still 15 feet away from it. So, oh no, here we go. It's going to make a tongue attack. So Can you please make me a DC 18 strength saving throw?
Ah! I have +0 to this. Oh god. 9.
Oh, no.
Spectacular.
That won't do at all. And I'm going to just wind back the clock on my pocket watch and use Chrono Shift, and you can re-roll.
Hey! Okay.
Oh, don't go into a fight with a diviner wizard and a chronergy wizard. Jesus Christ.
I still need to
Friggin'
roll
powerhouse.
high though. It's a
Yeah.
5.
Oh no.
Thank you so much though. Thank you for that.
Are you holding on to anything? Like, do you carry a shield or a weapon or a focus or anything like that?
I have, yes. No, not in my hands. Around my neck, I have a gem that's my spell focus, but I don't currently have anything in my hands.
Okay, so in that case, he's just gonna pull you, and he's going to pull you until you are within 5 feet of him. So he's gonna pull you right there. Yeah, right in there. Actually, he's gonna pull you conveniently right next to Victor, who you didn't really know was there, but is all of a sudden there.
Hello! I say like in the tongue.
Fantastic. And that is his turn. So Victor, it's your turn.
I think I'm like probably nestled in amongst those like lily pads there, and I think I'm just gonna erupt out, going sneak attack, and then just hit it with the greatsword.
That's not
It's
how
not
sneak
hard being
attack
a rogue.
works.
Oh my god. Are you a rogue? I thought you were a ranger.
I'm a ranger. It's right there.
This is henchman style sneak attack.
This is so
Oh, hells
henchman
yes.
style.
This
my
you got
God.
anime
Bonus
announce your move.
I'm gonna
Oh my
bonus
lord.
action Slayer's Prey it, which just
Okay.
means that I do an extra d6 when I hit it
Okay.
for the first time each round.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to Great Weapon Fighting it? Oh, no, I just get that. Okay, never mind. Oh, no, I can do it. Before you make a melee attack with this heavy weapon, if you're proficient, I will take a -5 on it. And if I hit, I will do +10 damage.
Oh dang.
Do I have advantage because it doesn't know I'm there?
Sure.
You did before you.
I'm going to do it anyway, but, like, I'm just curious.
Sure. That works for me. It's a sneak
Alright.
attack.
So that will be a 15. Does that hit?
A 15
Yeah.
does not hit. 50 with advantage?
Ah!
So you jump
I
up.
rolled a and, oh, wait, I get 2 attacks, don't I?
Oh, at 8th level, probably. Yeah, you should
Yeah.
at least get 2.
All right, well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
will make another attack then. Maybe I'll hit with the other one.
I'll even give you advantage.
Thank you. Does 19 hit?
A 19 does hit.
Thank God. All right. So I'm gonna do 3d6 plus 10. Plus strength.
Dang.
Let's go.
And I get to re-rolls 1s and 2s. All right, here we go. 6, good start. 2, I will re-roll that one. To a 2, I have to keep that. And a 3. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 damage.
26 damage. Goddamn. All right. Which will make it. Okie dokie. Yeah, you jump up, and the first, you kind of like sort of slip on a lily pad. Yeah, you
Like
sort of
it's just
slip
this
and fall.
disastrous flailing.
Yes, and then you somehow manage to get your footing again, like, you know, you belong in a swamp. You know what you're doing. And swings down and chops into it. And you manage to get a good hit on this thing. And it really doesn't like that, and so it is now going to use one of its bonus actions to make an additional attack. And so it is going to bite you with its individual little tooth, because apparently frogs have one tooth. And that does a 14 hit you?
No, it does not, but it's close.
Oh my god, I can't believe it didn't hit you. I rolled a 4.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Such a good ability. Okay, unfortunately, he tries to bite at you, but you sort of get your sword up and sort of it knocks the inside of his mouth and he goes blah, 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 blah. Very upset. Phalor, it's your turn.
Oh boy. So I need to figure out how to draw a sphere.
That's a very good question. I don't know how to do that.
I would like to be able to circle. Does it measure though?
Probably not. Count squares?
Oh,
That measures.
cheapers.
Yeah, how big of a blast do you need?
It's 30 foot sphere.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
Radius or diameter?
Radius,
That's a
probably.
good
It's
question.
It's usually
That's
radius.
a really good question. I thought it was diameter, but I need to double check that because yeah. Let me see. Let's see. 30-foot radius.
It's a big one.
So we're gonna go big.
Is it fireball?
As a warlock, we only get two spells, so we want to show off. We haven't had a chance to do this in a while, so he's definitely gonna have to like position it so that it's, you know, just the tip and the frog, and he can do that because we have the room.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna cast Sickening Radiance. You big bulbous.
That's
Bastard.
what I was thinking of too.
You should have
Good
just
idea.
meditated and just. You're just gonna see him kind of put both hands together, and he's just gonna put them like this, and open up this orb, and he's gonna launch it out, and this orb is just gonna hit the center of what happens, and it's just gonna light, just emits, and you see this 60-foot kind of bubble, just start to stand there, and so I'll put I'll put the spell in chat.
Okay. I'm assuming
There
I
you
need to
go.
roll a con save.
Yes.
Okay.
That's horrifying.
Oswin's
That is.
vocals just go dark.
Yes, you need to make a con save
Okay.
of 14.
Okay. See if I roll as bad as I was doing. Oh, that is an 18.
It's wonderful.
Do I still take damage for half?
You do take actually no, it doesn't say.
If it doesn't say, it probably doesn't. It usually
I don't
says like
think
if
so.
on a
No,
half-
but the spell lasts for up to 10 minutes, and if the creature starts their turn in the circle, they still have to make the same save again. So this
Amazing.
is going to stay up, and Phalor is going to, now that he has kind of cast this spell, he is going to give himself just a little breathing room, and he's going to take his 30 feet of movement, or at least his 25 feet of movement, and he's going to move himself. I'm still using the freaking measuring thing instead of moving myself. We're just going to
Oh,
move
I know.
over
I
there.
do that all the time.
We're just going to move over there.
Perfect. Just gonna move back a little bit. That sounds great.
Yeah, we just want to keep concentrating on a big old circle.
Okay.
And thank you, silent producer, for making a giant circle for us.
Yes, very well done. Thank you. So he is not happy about that, but he's also not well, he hasn't really sensed it yet. He felt like he might be a little bit sick, but he thinks that it is yeah, he just thinks it's something that one of these two did, and is going to try and bite Victor again. And we'll use another legendary action.
fair.
Ooh, that is going to be a 25.
Oh, that's definitely gonna hit.
So it chomps down and is going to do a frankly kind of gross amount of damage. As long as I roll okay. That's the real dilemma here. Let's find out. I'm so sorry. That's 19 plus 6. That's 25 piercing.
Okay.
And it chomps down with sort of just the hard, whatever material frog's mouths are made out of, bites down,
Okay.
throws you up in the air, and swallows you. You are considered as blinded and restrained, but you also have total cover against attacks and other outside effects.
Well, that's nice.
Wonderful.
And remind me, you will take damage at the beginning of his turns. Top of the order.
Oh god, am I in the
Oz-
radiance now too?
You're
now
protected.
It says,
protected.
yeah, it does say you're protected against effects outside of Boss Frog. So arguably,
Yay.
so Oswind, what would you like to do? You're in like a frog mech. Yes. That was a good face.
Oh dear.
Oh, I need that as a sound bite.
Shit. Okay. I guess. Wait, where did Phalor go? You're all the way
ran
back
away.
there. Okay. Okay.
read.
I'll look over towards Phalor and I'll just say,
No, we're going big, are we?
and I will. I'll pull out my pocket watch and just face it towards the frog, and one of the hands will just arc off, and it's a lightning bolt shaped like a clock hand.
Oh my god. Okay, perfect.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So that is a dex save.
Okay. Not as good at those. Oh, but I rolled real good. Yeah, that is going to be a 19.
You'll try again. Silvery barbs.
And you,
Amazing.
on that silvery barbs, you're gonna roll a 10 because of my second important roll.
Beautiful. Okay, wonderful. So in that case, that's a 12. And I believe a 12 fails.
Yes, it does.
Fantastic. God, this team up is gross. Good job.
So yes, that's 8d6.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I gotta get more. Hold on.
That's always good.
Yeah.
Great. Normally it's the DM that gets to
that's
do
so
that. This is
satisfying.
wonderful.
It's always good when a player gets to go do it. Very.
And they're all Norse
odd.
Foundry gemstones as well.
Ooh, oh my god, beautiful. Yes, thank you to Norse Foundry as well for providing us all sorts of free dice during our Dragonlance game. They've been wonderful.
Dragonlance.
Okay.
Dragons,
It's 1
lances,
a.m.
and
here,
dice.
so I'm just gonna use a calculator.
Oh, what a champ. Thank you to our East Coast friends. This music's great.
Mm-hmm.
I know, it's the happiest freaking fight music ever.
I know.
That would be 35 points of lightning damage.
Gross! 35. Holy shit. Oh god, what even is that? That's 747 53 63 83. Oh god.
Is
You
that
guys are
enough to
insane.
force a save?
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, mostly because it's lightning damage. So as you shoot, you point your clock at him, or your watch at him, and this lightning bolt arcs out of it, off of the hand. And it basically has those like cartoon like swirly eyes for a moment. And it seems like it really just can't move. And just sort of wibbles for a second. And he kind of looks like he's about to gag a little bit, but then swallows down even harder and manages to hold on. I rolled a 19 for that con save to not throw him up. But we'll hold on to him, and is not very happy about that, and so is going to use 2 of its legendary actions because it hasn't used any this round. It is
I would
going
also
to...
like to use my movement to fly on top of that building.
Okay. That's fair. It's still within your thing, so maybe he won't be able to get you. Go ahead. Top of the building. I don't think he'll be able to reach you now. Oh, maybe. How far? What's your movement? Oh, you're there. Okay.
30 feet.
Okay. I think he can just leap to you. Yes, he's going to use his hippity hop legendary action. And he is going to jump to a new location within 30 feet, does not provoke attacks of opportunity, and carries with it all creatures he is grappling. And if he lands on the space of a medium or smaller creature, that creature is going to take 2d6 damage. And that is 10 bludgeoning damage. Can you take 10 bludgeoning damage for me, Oswind? And then next is Biscuit.
All right. Was I grappled? Do I go with the frog?
No, you were not. He didn't eat you. Oh, and yes, you make a good point, Char. Jay, who gets your advantage from silvery barbs?
I'll give it to. Oh wait, do I need to see them
Oh, I don't know.
to give advantage? I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, you can see. Okay.
Okay.
So
So you can't give it to Victor.
yeah,
Victor's dying in the way
that's what I was
imagined he always
thinking.
would.
Consumed.
I will.
Belly of a bush beast.
I'll give it to Professor Bosch, and
Beautiful.
I'll look up from underneath the like frog's feet and just say, "Please help."
Holy shit!
All right.
Biscuit is your turn.
Oh, I love
I'm
this
gonna
team.
start my turn by running a bit out of the way. 5, 10, 25 feet. I'll just run straight down. 5, 10. Do I think that a 30-foot radius can fit hitting the frog, but not hitting me or Professor Bosch?
Sure, yeah.
Let's see. I need a circle. Because it's basically the same size as the red one, right? So I would assume
exactly.
so. Okay. My circle drawing skills are lacking.
Okay.
But I'm going
you're
to
good.
say, it's barbecue time! And I'm going to cast Fireball at 4th level.
Amazing.
To hit this frog. So it's a 16 dex save.
Okie dokie. Oh, that would help if I actually could roll the right way. There we go. Oh boy. That's a 8.
Yeah, you fail! This frog is on fire! It's gonna be 28.
Is that the somatic or the verbal component?
Yeah, exactly. As I throw bat shit at him. 28 fire damage. I rolled pretty poorly on that.
28.
Lots of
So
twos.
as you throw fire at this creature, now technically it hasn't consumed Oswind, so theoretically he would be in the range of the fireball, but I'm going to argue that he's protecting him. And yeah, so we'll say that you get protected mainly because you throw this fireball and it does catch the oh yeah, I guess you can theoretically throw it right at his back, so yeah, I'll say that's fine. And you will throw it at this frog, and it sort of splashes off of it. And so it doesn't look like it takes as much damage as you thought it did. And sorry, what was the total again?
28.
28.
So
Okay, so it's
perhaps
14. Correctamundo. That is going to be 97. Double check his hit points.
I'll announce
right.
to the group, looks like lightning's the way to go! Barbecuing isn't working!
Yes, correct. Kenzie.
So I kind of faintly hear something about barbecue not working. So I decide to cast Acid Arrow.
Okay.
Because totally missed the lightning part of that.
Yes. Go right ahead.
I've got 15, 20, 21 for the attack, the spell attack.
That'll do her.
And then I have 64. Just going to try to do this here because it'll add it for me. Oh, no, I can't do that many.
Also, I apologize. He should have had disadvantage on his dex saving throw because of the lightning. I just re-rolled. He failed, but I just to see if he got a natural one. But he did not, so he still fails though. Acidify this frog to death. Oh, I should have attacked again. Not used to legendary actions. They're cool though.
Mm-hmm.
That's 15 acid damage.
Alrighty.
And 2d4 acid damage at the end of its next turn.
Okay, remind me of that. Because I will probably forget.
Oh, I think I should have taken some damage when the frog moved. Because I'm digested.
Yes. But
Sorry, popped in my head.
No, that's good. Thank you. No, you take damage at the start of its turn. So its turn's next, so you're about to take damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
it
not
was
when you move.
That's right. My apologies.
No, all good. It was a legendary action, yeah. But no, good call. Thank you for being honest. Beautiful. So yeah, you shoot. What does your acid arrow look like?
My acid arrow is a shimmering green arrow, but I kind of made it just look like a frog because I'm attacking a frog, and that's all I could think of at the time. So yeah, there's like a dart frog headed towards this frog that just sprays acid.
It seems very yes.
Yeah, it's just like this, like poof. Of acid.
Beautiful. This frog almost made of acid comes flying out of your wand and explodes on the back of Boss Frog and melts away part of its back. And then it is Boss Frog's turn. And so you are going to take some damage, James. It is 3d6 worth of damage. That's a lot of. I rolled really well. Take 15 points of acid damage.
Okay.
And then it will take its bite, and tongue attack against the only one in range, which is Professor Flappenheimer. So a bite and one tongue. So it's going to take one bite attack, and that is an 11 plus the 21. Does a 21 hit Professor Flappen?
Yeah.
It does. Hey, you put on your golden robe or your golden waistcoat. Wanted to make sure. And then that's going to be 3d10. Why did I get rid of all my d10s? Oh, they're there. Never mind. I didn't get rid of them at all. They're right there. That's a lot of ones. That is going to be 16 damage, piercing damage. And it grabs onto you, tosses you up, and as you all of a sudden see light, Victor, an owl falls on your face, and it goes dark again.
Freedom!
Good evening.
It's like the middle of the day.
And then it is going to turn and begin to move towards Biscuit. What do we got here? 10, 15, 20. Yeah, we'll get right up next to you and we'll loom over you. Victor, it's your turn. What would you like to do? You can attack from inside.
Oh, pardon me. Sorry. Yeah,
You're Victor,
totally.
sorry.
I will be struggling and flailing and doing everything. Sorry. Yeah,
Good.
sorry.
Yeah. You can take your. No, you're technically restrained. Restrained.
Yeah, let's find out.
Open. Okay. Restrained. Haha. Double checking what means. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. So you can make both of your attacks. They're just with disadvantage.
Okay. I will certainly do that. I will not take my plus 10 damage thing right now.
Okay.
So that would be a 14, which will probably miss.
Yeah.
And then a 15.
And a 15. Neither of those will hit. I was just looking to see if he has a different AC for
Oh, wait.
inside.
Yeah, I have disadvantage, so I have to add a disadvantage for those ones. Torrid. And yeah, so that 15 is going to be my best roll.
Okay, but no ones.
No ones, no.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you kind of flail around, but you're trying not to hit Professor. You're trying not to hit Oswind as you're flailing about. And Phalor, it is your turn. You are very far away.
Yeah. We're not only are we very far away, it is very far away from my whole light purpose of doing the things.
Yeah, can you
And
move
friends
it?
are being swallowed. I don't believe I can. I will double check that though.
If there's any breeze in this swamp, it can shift, but you can't move it yourself.
Ah.
Yeah.
How far away are you? Do you have gust?
Fa-
Can you blow
Phalor?
the cloud over?
We're gonna do this. Phalor is gonna take the dash action,
Okay.
and he is going to move his full 60 feet over yonder to put
Okay.
himself between the light and the frog, and then is going to mind link the frog again.
Okay.
Hello again, you big boss frog bastard. This is your resident tree stump. Only it's not a tree stump. I tricked you. That's right. If you turn around and look for the prick in the shirt with a tie and glasses, you'll find me. Come and get me, you big bulbous piece of goo.
Roll me a persuasion or an intimidation or whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, it's very persuasive, I guess.
Sure.
We're trying.
Taunting.
That's an 18.
It looks like he was just about to bite down on Biscuit and stops and looks at you. And
That's right.
rears
Over here.
back and looks like he's about to
waves.
charge, but it is Oswind's turn from inside. Oh no.
Well, I
Oswind.
didn't see this coming, but chances are you won't see this coming either.
And I'm gonna lightning bolt from the inside.
Yes.
I think in the dark you're gonna hear, what do you mean by that?
I would argue that you can't make a dex save to save from a lightning bolt inside you.
I would 100% agree with that. Yes.
Do we get to deck save? Because I don't think we
It's a
get
line. It's a line.
Yes.
Thought about it.
in the dark. That we're attached to and gooey.
I'll just aim it upwards.
There you go. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Just
Okay, let's
touches
just.
the
I'm gonna roll with disadvantage, mostly to see if he gets a nat 1 or a nat 20, and that's the only things that would help him. That was real close. It was a 2 and an 18.
Oh.
But no, I agree with you. I don't think there's really a way to dodge that. So go ahead and do that damage.
Can we hear the dice
Yes.
again? Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful.
Not as good as last time.
It's okay.
it. 24 points of lightning damage.
You give this absolutely sick ass line. Victor gets real concerned, and you do you cast out of your watch or out of your finger your watch again? You click it open.
Yeah, I'll just move it upwards.
Like,
Fantastic. And a you shoot up into this thing, and everybody outside, it is all of a sudden illuminated inside, and you can see all the innards. But all of you outside, all of a sudden, just like cartoon, like see his skeleton. And it sort of, because it had reared up to go run at Phalor, it just kind of tilts back towards Biscuit. Biscuit, make me a deck save.
Ah! 19!
Yeah, you dive out of the way. You kind of ride the wave that comes from this thing falling into the swamp. Oswin and Victor go tumbling out of its mouth into the swamp, prone. And this
if I may.
Yes.
May I have a cool moment?
Yes, you may.
I would like to fly out of the mouth as it's falling, carrying Victor in my little feet.
Absolutely.
And as we come out, as we come out, I'm gonna turn to the frog as it's falling over and say,
Time's up, bitch.
Amazing. Oh no. Okay, so then Boss Frog falls over, just like smelling not half bad. Frog is apparently quite good barbecued. Or electrified? I don't know. What's the difference? Yes, you are in fact the superb owl. Very well done. And as you come out, you guys sort of calm down as all of this happens. Then you will see from out underneath the tree, a small tiefling boy will climb his way out and sort of look up at you all scared. And just look to all of you and go, I'd like to go home now.
You're late, boy.
And I think on that, we will call this incredible one-shot of Strixhaven Summer School. Thank you guys so much.
That was too fun.
Oh, man.
Oh, you
Our
all
characters worked so well together. That was wild. That's one of the best synergies I've had from a one-shot.
Yeah. And the best part is I even said, don't care, do whatever you want. I don't care. You could be all wizards. You could be all whatever. And everyone just, incredible. Great job, guys.
Like, so many of my spells were just nope, try again. Like...
Oh. Yes. Oh yeah, Chronergy Wizard and a friggin' diviner is gross, and I love it, and it's incredible. And oh my, everyone just did so awesome. Thank you guys so much for just leading into it and just playing. You're all so incredible. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for leading the game, Krista. Thank you.
And bringing life to those amazing characters.
And thank you to Kelly for this incredible one shot. It's so good. I can't wait for him. I can't wait for him to publish it so other people can play it. There's so many good random encounter charts. It's very exciting. We will see more of them probably in our second one shot on January 30th. But thank you guys so much for being here. It's been absolutely incredible. You guys are all amazing. I hope that we can have you back at some point for sure. We'll drag you back over to the Dork side. And, yes, it is the Dork side. You all know it. But let's say goodbye to everyone for now. I know a lot of us work early in the morning, and some of us are on the East Coast, and it's real late. Chili.
Oh,
no, why does he have a cone?
Because he's been licking him's feeties.
The cones of shames.
Bad chili dog. All right, well, let us all head out. Let's go in a circle from the bottom up, backwards. James, where can we find you?
Around, yeah. Sometimes here, sometimes Direwolf, sometimes Breck's
Dire
channel.
Bear?
Yeah, Dire Bear, or Evil DMs, or yeah, I'm kind of bouncing around a lot. But yeah, you can find me around. Yeah.
And you can see his beautiful maps on the regular Strixhaven game. They're very good. We're going to release those, I think. I think if you're okay with that, we'll release all of your maps
Yeah,
so that
totally fine with that, yeah.
other folks playing can do that. They're very, very good, very beautiful, and very neat. Then let's hop over to Jay. Hi, Swole. Where can we find you?
Hey, on the internets, I'm around. You'll find me mostly on Instagram at Swole Initiative. I try and post like positive, uplifting, cool things about TTRPGs and stuff. So, yep, that over there. And I stream on twitch.tv/Swole Initiative Network as well. So, yes,
Heck
we'll
yeah.
be doing up on Friday for the homebrew game.
Very exciting. Yes, your Instagram reels and TikToks and such always make me giggle. So thank you so much. Tabitha, hi. Where can we find you? I know where I can find you.
Hi, darling.
I'll hang out with you and get more dice, but we'll play
Yes.
some magic soon.
Oh, very much looking forward to that. Yeah, so when I'm online, I am either streaming my own channel, tabbycat224 on Twitch, or I am part of Frank and X's crew doing World of Warcraft content, and that's just twitch.tv/FrankandX.
Heck yeah. And if you haven't watched the Christmas episode yet, I know it's not Christmas anymore, but Frank of Frank and X was on our Christmas episode, and that was way too much fun. So please go check that out. It was Honey Heist, and we might have robbed Santa. It was lots of fun. Let's go up to the top row. Hey there, Knight. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Night Tide just about everywhere. I stream on Mondays and Wednesdays typically. Our Monday game is a little bit of a hiatus, but we're going to be starting up a new campaign here in early February. And then Wednesdays is kind of like a generic fun variety stream, but you can also check out the Dungeon Knights channel, which is soon to be rebranded as the Firelight Adventures channel on YouTube for some Rime of the Frostmaiden action and a little bit of Lost Mine of Fandover with lots of homebrewy flavor to it.
Hell yeah. If you can't tell, I love homebrew and I love Rule of Cool. So I'm always here for the homebrew nonsense. Awesome. Well, thank you again. And Shar, hi, where can we find you?
Hey, you can find me at Charlene Bear on all the social medias. Otherwise, if you're looking for more TTRPG content, I am the DM of Tabletop Titties. We will be shifting away from D&D for our next season. And of course, we always have Vampire the Masquerade content as well. So check us out wherever you find your podcasts or streams.
And I believe a bunch of dorks have been over there playing Vampire with you.
Yes.
So very exciting. Go check those out. And I have been Christa. You can normally find me here at Dork Tales too many nights a week. But otherwise, you can find me at Jahista FX on TikTok and sometimes Instagram, mostly just when I'm bored, though. So there's no consistency to it. Don't expect anything. But thank you again to Kelly for this incredible module, and it was so much fun. And I really, really enjoyed it. It was very, very entertaining. And you're right, I did love Boss Frog. But hi, Kelly.
Hi, how's it going?
Amazing. Thank you so much for this incredible.
It's the voice. It's me, Boss Frog. How's it going? I'm back, bitches.
Yes, thank you so much for this incredible module. Thank you for letting us run this. It's been amazing. Thank you for producing and doing awesome map and music magic.
Hey, no worries at all. And thank you very much for helping me revise parts of this. Like, what happens if they try to dispel Magic the Frog?
Oh.
That was, you couldn't hear or see me panic, but I was like, oh shit.
I have so many messages, just like all this wall of messages, like, what, do this, reduce the die type, do this, sure. And I was like, I don't know, man, whatever.
I'll probably have to write something in the final version, but thank you so much, Char. That was really clever. And yeah, there's no way to block a lightning bolt that you've swallowed.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
Oh,
Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. We will head out. So yes, thank you, patrons. You guys have been incredible. Thank you for being here and watching live with us. It's lovely having you here. So many people in the chat tonight. It was so great. I know I don't type a lot when I'm DMing, but I see you there, and thank you so much for being there and being wonderful. If you are watching this upon general release, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. If this is amazing and you loved this and it was absolutely incredible, please consider joining our Patreon and seeing this as we air it. We have all sorts of crazy stuff going on our Patreon, including a Technocracy mage game run by the amazing Jen. If you want to see session 0 of that, you can go check out our Extra Life sort of backdoor pilot that is now becoming the Technocracy game. And then very soon, our Radiant Citadel, all sorts of fun stuff. But there's all sorts of crazy stuff. Potentially, there might be other things. We have too many things going on anyway.
You just missed it on Sunday, Christa. But there was the 150 patron announcement. Was made.
Incredible. Yes. Okay.
And
wonderful.
that means that when that hits, Millie is going to run Star Trek Adventures.
Amazing, so exciting, so good. And we have a number of amazing one-shots that are going to be up early for patrons, which are very, very fun. We've done a couple of session 0s for those recently, and there's a whole bunch of new games in the work that I know are being cast or have been cast, and art's been made. And, so anything else you want to go all the way out, Kelly?
I love you. I love all of you.
I love you too. I love all of you too. You're all amazing.
You know, it's really weird watching my own stream and watching it like I'd watch, like, you know, another actual play. And just loving the crap out of it. You guys were all amazing. Every one of you brought something amazing to the table. So thank you for making me laugh my ass off while producing.
Hell yeah. You deserve it.
Well, that's it. That's all I got. Just love.
Yeah, awesome, wonderful. Thank you to all of our incredible patrons. I don't know all of them off. Hang on, let's see if I can do it. Shulton, our world building producer.
Yeah. And Soul Omen.
And Soul Omen, right? Both he is. And then Precarious
is the demonic, yeah.
Is the demonic producer. And then I forget, there's someone.
There's 2 divines. There's DM Mike Gray.
DM Michael Gray and your mom.
My mom, yeah.
Yep. And then our wizard of the Patreon, Eolus? No, Tammy.
Tammy, the Forever Cleric.
Tammy for the Forever Cleric.
And you're not going to get the princes.
Big group of people. No.
Do you want me to do it?
I can get some of them.
I'm going to be renaming it soon to the Council of the Patreon because we have 11 of them now.
That's a full council.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Cubby Gummy.
Yep.
Amberthist.
Yep.
Trizelta.
Yep.
Taryn, the OG fangirl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope, that's as far as I can get.
Okay, we also have The Traveler, Raven with Baubles, Karasha Urquhart, Drew Thompson, Sergio, and Chef Aladeth.
I don't even recognize some of those names, so that's incredible.
I know, it's almost like people suddenly have a lot of money that they've taken from a different subscription, given it to us.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you guys so much. It's very awesome to be here. And I know
thanks
some
for going
of us
above
on
and beyond
patrons as well. So thank you. Yes. So thank you guys so much for being here. It's been incredible having you. Playing with you has been such a joy. It's the first time playing with at least 3 of you. And it's been an absolute joy. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope we could play again in the future. We'll have to drag you out for some Dork X or some I almost called it EverQuest. Extra Life.
Welcome to EverQuest.
Wow, that's a throwback.
And we're definitely going to try to trick all of you to come back and spend some time with us during Dork Tales Expo in March, April, whenever that gets decided. Which, oh my God, that's 3 months from now. I got to go do that.
Okay, we should do that. And y'all should go to bed. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.